Hello, hello. Happy Monday, everybody. We are going to start the way that I always do with tenant review. Make sure I'm on track for things. Give myself glowing marks. All right, so what are we looking at here? Sustainability. I think feeling pretty good about this. There was some really hard work last week around saving. What else did we do last week? Hey, Make Source. Happy Monday. Last week was this. Several fixtures for meta perks. Oh yeah, so meta perks, save system, save system, save system, metrics. Yeah. Meta perks, saving, and then game design. I even did a little bit of extra work on the weekend. But all in all, it's going well because there's an imminent playtest launch. All right, bricklaying. I think this week will be the test of that. We now have more content to do, polishing, bug fixing, etc. Is Athletics, good morning. And not wasting the opportunity. I wouldn't say it was the most shining example that last week. Most shining example of this tenant. But it wasn't bad. All in all, I think things are going fine. So yeah, the goal for this week is to get challenge mode into the hands of playtesters. And I think that's very doable. My main plan is for today, we're going to work on the difficulty track implementation. We designed it already. And then we probably need more perks, meta perks, twists, etc. And I need to play test a bit. So yeah, that's the plan. This I'm gonna just file down here somewhere. I like the idea though. Okay, so we got to clean up all these changes I made. So to sum up, on I think it was Friday, maybe it was Thursday. I don't remember which one exactly. I guess it was in the journal. Anyway, on one of those days, I made the metrics server, and this is pretty much just an endpoint on my mini PC that logs a JSON file. So as simple as we could possibly do it. And the problem that we came up with was that if I do expose this service, that people are probably just going to exploit it at some point and dump a bunch of files. And so what? I don't really care too much. But I added a password to it. So I did that yesterday, and I did this in the simplest possible way. So I'm going to go check in this code. Yeah, we have a URL and a password here, and this only matters for the playtest version. This shouldn't be checked in. So this changed. We now use the server URL and password. This shouldn't be there. Anything else? Okay, so here's our route. We take in a password. We make sure it's the valid password. We make sure we set it through an environment variable. I changed the route name. Project setting tools. This is going to replace the metric server information. Yep. Yeah, all this is pretty straightforward. But we only do this on the playtest version, and eventually this should get gutted completely. And potentially some custom, what are they called? Settings. Yeah. Okay, I think it's pretty reasonable. Yeah, and the password, I was testing this out. I mean, you can see this test here. I just specified a password of Hunter2, and I don't even think I have the server running anymore. Do I? No, I don't. Oh, wait, no, I do have it running. I just don't know what the password is. I bet if I hit send right now, it's going to tell me it's a wrong password. Yeah. I don't know what the password is. I have it saved somewhere. So it's not Hunter2. Yeah, so this is what's going to happen now. And I don't know who's going to care about this or whatever. It doesn't matter. So yeah, we'll see. Hey, who cares? And then I also came up with a tiny plan to get the SQLite database back onto my computer to analyze. So yeah, I got something figured out. Okay, so this has to be over here somewhere in the launch section. Yeah, switch to main, merge branch. Nice. Hey, Becca. Been out all day. Time to chill. Watch you. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. You have a good day? All right, so where did we leave off with this? Add a password sent to the server. That's done. To get it only in a playtest version. I already modified this. This isn't a thing, but this is a thing. Modify the server to check. Set up a Cloudflare tunnel. Copy server code. Probably needs to be a Docker container. Write some basic processing. I did not do this. So we should just been meh. Okay. Well, I hope this evening is better for you. This should probably be in phase. Well, it's not really phase 1 anymore, but yeah, probably over here. But I don't need to do that ahead of time as long as we're getting metrics. So that's done. Get metrics working. Store the highest difficulty level that you've beaten. Do we do that? I don't actually remember. Wait, what? What's going on? Why is this stuff all modified? Did I not actually check this in? I looked through it all and then didn't check it in? Okay. Add password to metrics server. I also parameterize the URL for the game. I did this stuff on the Godot side via project settings, but we only need it for the playtest version. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, what was I just talking about? Oh yeah, storing the highest difficulty level. Yeah, so let's go load up the save file. Can I double click a JSON file and have it open in this? Yes, good. I didn't remember if I had done that. And I don't know why I didn't just try it sooner. It's not like changing it is that hard either. All right, so what are we doing here? We're looking for difficulty level? No, but this is the difficulty level you chose, not the one you've beaten. So I guess it goes into progress save data. Yeah, this should be pretty simple. Challenge mode, progress save data. Public int highest difficulty level unlocked. No, is that the best way to do this? Maybe high, I guess it doesn't really matter. The highest one beaten and the highest one unlocked. This is literally linear. It's going to be plus or minus 1. So I guess it doesn't really matter. All right, so this starts at 0, which now means we need to respect this in a new challenge run. We have the difficulty button increase and decrease. I guess we're gonna disable this if it's not max difficulty level, but if it's greater than or equal to the highest difficulty level unlocked. So main challenge mode data, progress, highest difficulty level unlocked. That's not even there. We need to put that in there now. Public int that get set. Why did I do that? Yeah, why did I make these public? Okay, curious. What about this one? No, this should just be a private setter. What about you? Please tell me it's the same thing. No, it is not the same thing. That's too bad. Vacation is end. Oh no. Thanks for the sub, player. Was it good though? It sounded like you had fun at each place. It sounded like some places were kind of expensive. But you feeling kind of recharged? I know it's never easy going back to work stuff. All right, we do modify this from a bunch of different places. I'm doing this in the easiest possible way right now. Yeah, so this can be private as well. And then the highest difficulty level unlocked, I think we're going to set this when you beat challenge mode with a medal. So we do that here. Somewhere we check like that this thing ended. Where's the action? Went to title screen? That's not right. No, challenge mode details. Oh, thank you too, Xyletics. Happy combined 6 months of subbing. Sure, pretty good. I kind of think I should have just donated the money instead of spending it all. A bit too extravagant for my taste. Out of curiosity, and you don't have to answer this, but what does extravagant look like to you? Not in terms of money spent, but where you like, oh, I don't know, I got like a limo everywhere. Is that luxury, or is it more like, I don't know, I bought meals for myself or something? Like, because regardless of what you answer, I don't think you probably were like super irresponsible with the money from what you kind of hinted at over Discord. Sure, some things might have been expensive, but like, I don't know, you weren't, just throwing $10,000 down a storm drain or something. Like, that's irresponsible. Reach money goal. So this gets called, and in the UI, then we know to save this. We show the end screen and then we save stuff here. So I think what we need to do right before this is figure out if you unlock the next difficulty level. Where do we do that? Main dot challenge mode data dot, no, it's in the end screen, isn't it? End screen dot medal earned. I don't think it was irresponsible. Yeah, I think it's probably fine. The other thing too is, I think that there's a balance between all this stuff. You might have heard the general just kind of saying that in order to help someone else, you first need to help yourself. Like, it sounds like you really needed a vacation, and then you got your vacation. So believe that you're worth it. Get medal earned. This is in challenge mode configuration, and this is pretty safe to call here. So let's call this main.challenge mode data configuration. So if the medal earned, oh wait, this is time elapsed. Where do we do this? We have to take in the time elapsed? Oh, here it is, medal earned. My bad. Okay, so how do we get to that? Challenge mode objective details. There they are. Splitting messages for added suspense. I'll allow it. So if the medal earned is not equal to none, then the difficulty level that you unlocked is now higher. Okay, so I want to go test this. Let's try it out. Hey, Coldfire. I'm hoping to get the playtest version ready this week. Okay, so we go back to the title screen. We should only be able to access level 0. Yeah. But if I go beat level 0, so wait. If I don't beat level 0, hang on a second. Highest difficulty is 0. Yeah. But if I go beat it, now it should be 1. Yes, highest difficulty unlocked is 1. So we go to title screen, and now we can click this button. I wonder if we should click that button for you. Like every time, I don't know. I need to think about that. I think it's just a usability thing though. Had an idea that would require a massive overhaul, and it's too late in development for sure, but I can't get it out of my head. What is it in a nutshell? Because you know what I think? I have kind of a hunch here. I have a hunch that, like, I'm just going to say this. I don't know if it's true. Most game dev is probably steered by 1 to 2 games in mind. So for example, you're making a card game. You probably have 1 to 2 card games that you liked. I'm sure Slay the Spire is one of them. And, maybe it's like Hearthstone or something. And it's like, these probably help you make quite a lot of the decisions and not just sort of the broader general knowledge. And it's hard to not have those comparison points. And yeah, I don't know, I have a lot of thoughts going through my head right now. I kind of think about this in terms of AI. I've heard of people who do a lot of like AI-based coding eventually kind of adapt how they think so that they're leaning on the AI more and more and more. It's like it's giving them answers. I think that probably happens with game dev as well, where, and not with AI, but just You start leaning on the design of these other games a little bit too much. So anyway, this idea for your game that would require a massive overhaul is like, it's probably a deviation from one of those games and would just steer you toward another game. And it's not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing, but like you said, given the time and development cycle, it's probably not worth pursuing. Unless a massive overhaul takes like a week or something. Hey, Shot, I'm doing well. Yeah, how are you doing? Mage Knight and Wild Frost. I think I played a tiny bit of I played a tiny bit of this game. Probably like 5 minutes or something, and then uninstalled it. It probably wasn't bad. I didn't feel like learning a bunch of new cards and mechanics and stuff. Oh, I should probably turn that off. Hang on. Turn this up so I can even hear that it's on. So the thing about selecting the next difficulty level, I mean, I guess we should probably track that somewhere, but if I quit the game and re-enter it. Do you hear my English classroom? Nice. You just leave the idea for the sequel. Yeah, I think it's a good plan. The more I think about it, the more I think if you've got a core game that seems fun, stop adding features and just enhance the fun of that game. All right, so we can get to level 1. So if we beat this and we don't get a medal, which the only way that I could test that easily is by changing the elapsed time to something very, very long. So let's type that. I don't even know if that's long enough. That is 6 hours. Yes, so that is definitely long enough. So now we're going to win. It will not unlock the next difficulty level. So no medal. We go to title screen. We can't go to the next level. But if I win in less time, then I can go to the next level. Yeah. And technically, this needs to be capped out at the actual maximum. So I did this wrong, but only slightly wrong. Actually, wait, no, this probably should be allowed to get beyond the maximum. And we should just prevent you from going. Yeah, maybe I should just test this. CM save. Let's set this to 50. And then load the game. Okay, so now we go to challenge mode. Now we should be able to click all the way up to level 20. The plus button is still enabled. Okay, that's easy enough to fix. If it's greater than or equal to the actual maximum. Math.min this comma max difficulty level. There we go. That'll do it. I wonder if there should be a button here that says like go to maximum. Yeah, there we go. So now if we beat this, it just sets it to level 21. No, it sets it to level 52. Okay, the highest difficulty level unlocked should not be plus. It should be equal to the current difficulty level. Math.maximum of this and the current difficulty level plus 1. There. Roguelike deck builder, but the terminology didn't exist. It's got a bunch of really weird labels attached to it. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've heard of Mage Knight. Then again, I've never really been too into board games. Oh, is this like a figurine board game? It looks like there are figurines. I don't know how much it... No, it's not like it super leans into that, I guess. It's got more leaning into the card aspect. Yeah. Based on some IP that had lots of figurines. I see. Hey, Wendy. Howdy, everybody. How's it going? Hey, Craggins. Oop. I can't run the shout out because I've got some windy emotes. There we go. Welcome in, everybody. Oh no, Corpsey. You're leaking your windy specific messages in my chat. Hans, no, I'm not from Texas. Why do you ask? What indication would there be of that? I am curious. So yeah, today, Windy viewers, we are going to be working on content for challenge mode. The main goal of this entire week is get challenge mode to be playable by playtesters. So this won't be in the demo, but people who have access to the playtest version will be able to try this out. And what we just got done with now is making it so that when you beat a certain difficulty level, you go up in level, unless you're already at the maximum. So now this should have saved that we're at level 20. Well, it should have saved that we're at level 21, but if we set that to 20, it'll actually work. Oh, howdy. Okay, got you. Yeah. I think howdy is not just a Texas exclusive thing. I've heard it in many different states. But yeah, I guess it would be more prevalent in some places. Anyway, the game itself, for those who haven't seen this, I'll show off the story mode version, I guess. But it's a very laid back town management game. You send adventurers into battle. They collect items for you. You sell them. Use the items to build up your town. Sorry, the money to build up your town. They're automatic battles. Very casual, very cozy. Not meant to be a ton to think about. So then, yeah, challenge mode is where we're adding in a little bit of challenge, but even then, it's not like it's a crazy amount. And you should be able to overcome the difficulty by just playing enough. And not necessarily by learning. It's just play the game enough. You'll eventually, hopefully, surpass every obstacle. Anyway, if that game looks interesting to you, the demo is there. So yeah, challenge mode, as I mentioned, is here. This is the thing. This is kind of like Slay the Spire, where it's like an ascension level here. If you get to a certain level, it's going to stack all the modifiers from before it. So I don't know how visible this is, but I can zoom in on this. So the difficulty modifiers at level 2 would be these two. These are made up, so they're not going to stay around. But yeah, so today what we're going to work on is all of the difficulty modifiers for, I guess it's technically 21 levels. And it's going to be tedious. That's it. There's no two ways about it. It's going to be tedious to do. All right, I think this is important for the playtest. Makes it only one level beyond it. Make it clear in the UI. You need to earn at least bronze. Yeah, so this is the only part I haven't done yet. We haven't made it clear how you go to the next difficulty level. We could have a tooltip on this button, but I think we need it to show up even when this is disabled. Hey, Meridio, congrats. Are you liking it? Do you have to furnish it? How do I want to do this? I'm not totally sure because I don't think showing it here is probably important. I think showing it on the end screen is probably important. Business succeeded. Maybe we put some text right below this saying something like, you unlocked the oh wait, well, this is not right. Sorry, hang on. There's another problem here. I'm glad I just realized this. So if the medal earned is not none and you're currently on the highest difficulty level, configuration difficulty level, then unlock the next one. So now the maximum of these two things will always be this. So I can just set this to this +1. Yeah, otherwise the way that I did this is if you had level 5 unlocked and you went and beat level 1, it would give you level 6. But now it's written correctly. Now it checks to see, are you on the maximum level you could be on? And then unlocks the next one. Just bare walls, a little dull. Moving everything this weekend. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah. Yeah, I've always hated moving. It is so tedious. And it just consumes so much time. No, take care, Wendy. I understand. I hope you have a good one. And thanks for the raid. There's one move I did in my life that was the easiest thing possible, and it was a corporate move, and they packed everything for me. That was fantastic. That's the way to go. It's just a ton of money. Thought about getting movers because I hate moving so much. The thing I always get is people to, like, I get the service where they put everything in a truck for you, but they don't pack things for you. That, I think, has been pretty valuable, especially if you have furniture and stuff. Why is the mic blinking? I'm not actually sure. It's probably just an indicator that it's on. Is that better? Okay, because I have some, yeah, I don't see it anymore. I have tape over it, but I guess the tape got detached. Well, welcome in, Freddy's. Thanks. Yeah, sorry, I didn't even see that. All right, so make it clear. Yeah, I still haven't done this. Do we want to do it on that final screen? Say something here like, you've unlocked the next difficulty level because you earned a medal. Do we even say what medal you earned in here? What level am I on? Oh, I'm on like the max level. Okay, let's set this back down to level 1 or something. Level 0 there. Okay, so start, load. All right, so now I can only go, oh, interesting. Wait a second, because I was on difficulty level 20 when I just loaded it. Highest difficulty level unlocked. All right, let's just set this back down to 0. I'll just restart the game. Because I don't remember how we show you what medal you earned, but I think it's next to the time that it took you to win. I'm on level 0, so if I click this, it just says gold medal. Maybe it's just say it under here. You earned a gold medal, comma, which unlocked the next difficulty level. It does say here, the next difficulty level is unlocked by earning any medal. But only when you're on the highest difficulty that you could have been on. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I'll just kind of pen this in for now, but I don't like what this is going to look like just yet. So it could say something along the lines of, you earned a gold medal. Maybe center this, of course. But yeah, you earned a gold medal. And then maybe something like, you unlocked the next difficulty level. There any loading screen before challenge mode? If yes, you can put this pop-up text. No, the loading screens are all like less than a second. So, I mean, I guess there is a loading screen, but it's so fast that it doesn't really give you time to see it. So we'd have to like intentionally slow it down. Plus, I think in this UI, we could put it here somewhere. So this is fine. This is if you got the medal. If you didn't, we could maybe say something like, you did not earn a medal. Unlock the next difficulty level. I don't know. Also in the tutorial phase. The tutorial is going to be sort of, yeah, baked into level 0. We could tell you that if you win within a certain time, you'll go to the next difficulty level. I think we should probably have a tooltip on this button. Consider putting a tooltip on the plus button that tells you about how to unlock the next difficulty level. Or maybe we could simplify this to something like, you did not win fast enough to unlock the next difficulty level. This sounds bad. Bad. It sounds like we're like hitting you with a newspaper. Like, you're not good enough. I think we could phrase it maybe like, complete the objective faster next time to unlock the next difficulty level. I think that sounds better. Yeah, like this is probably worse than this. Get good. Yeah. Hey, Rohit. Welcome in. Complete the objective faster next time to unlock the next difficulty level. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that. So then what would we say when you did this? Like, you earned, by earning a medal, you've unlocked the next difficulty level. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Complete the objective faster next time to unlock it, and by earning it. Yeah, I like this. I like this pair. I think this is good. So we show this if you've earned it. We show this if you haven't earned it. Making my first game, Flappy Bird. Nice. Yeah. I think it's a good game to experience the basics of game dev. Like input, rendering graphics to the screen, possibly music and sounds if you want to do that. Hey, Fawn. Overhauled my Corn's key map, and it's now using a very similar key map for mods. It's so good now. Day and night difference. Yeah. Yeah, the real problem is just dual function keys. And I have some, like this O key is a dual function key, but I set the time explicitly to be much higher than normal so that I have to hold it down for a while for it to do the dual function stuff. So like I'm moving the mouse now by holding the O key down and then, you know, using these like arrows essentially. And that's actually how I control the volume level as well. But I made the time so much higher than normal. Keyboard. Where did I do that? That's there's like a 125 here somewhere. Yeah, this. Yeah, so there's a tapping term, and I had 50 milliseconds for the O key, and I had 125 milliseconds for this key. What is this key? No, this key on the left. Yeah, so this is actually technically a nav layer as well, and I just never use it as a nav layer. How do you design the game assets? You design them in Figma or buy them from somewhere? So I got asset packs to begin with, and I linked in the credits command on YouTube at least. But if you take a look at it, there are some asset packs at the bottom. And then Quickie Joe has been doing all the artwork on top of that. So I myself cannot personally make artwork, or at least not good artwork. So I don't rely on myself to do that stuff. Okay, so I like these messages. I want to put these in here somewhere. And let's see what it looks like. Well, let's just put it in here. So this would be something like next difficulty label. And I'll say something here like text about unlocking the next difficulty level. Oh, and then there's one more string we need, which is something like you've already unlocked all difficulty levels. Maybe we just delete the label in that case, or hide it, I guess. Yeah, just hide it in that case. Hide the label altogether when you've unlocked the maximum difficulty level. All right. So what does that say? Text about unlocking the next difficulty level. Yeah. And then the only thing I'd probably change here, is this because there are no dangling letters that this looks like this? If I put a G here, yeah, it is. Okay. So then this probably needs a tiny bit of margin, which I think you can do with BB code, but I don't remember. I could just throw this into a margin container. I'm probably going to do that. Yeah, margin container. All right, so put that there, put that there, put that whole thing down there, and then give this a margin bottom probably of like even a little bit, maybe 5 pixels or something, and set all these to 0. I guess the other thing, well, maybe it's a bad idea to do that. I was going to say we could make the margin top lower. The problem is if there were dangling letters, this would look really bad. And then maybe the other thing we do here is set the font size to be slightly larger. Actually, I shouldn't even do it through this. I should do it through this. Font size, normal. Let's set it to like 18. Yeah, that would look pretty good. All right, so can we fit the whole line? I mean, I guess we're going to test this in a sec. I could just test it now. Yeah, nice. Okay, this is great. All right, so let's go set this up. Have you seen the PR? No, I haven't. Hey, Dark. Thank you for letting me know. Let me go take a look. Adventure battle card design test. Unfortunately, there's no picture there. Whoa, what? Whoa. All right, I should definitely check that out. Yeah, let me write that down after this. Neat. Very neat. Yeah, let's finish working on this thing though. So copy the name of this, go into challenge mode end screen, go get this thing, private, rich text label. What do we call this? Next difficulty label? Yeah. Then in ready, let's fetch it. And then we set its details in here. So we need to know if you've beaten it or not, and then we show these two things. And I don't have any localized text. I should probably do that. Okay, so what do I want to say? String A equals this. String B equals this. I don't want to name variables right now. So, what are we basing this on? Whether you were on the highest difficulty level. Maybe there should be another string that says something like try challenge mode on a higher difficulty level. I don't know what I want to say for this. Like, you didn't play on the highest difficulty level unlocked. You didn't unlock the next one. I don't know if I want to, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I want to put for that. So like all we need to do is check, have you gotten a medal or did you not get a medal? And are you on the latest level? Bool is on highest difficulty unlocked. Is going to be challenge mode difficulty levels. This isn't even a thing. It's more like main dot challenge mode data dot progress dot highest difficulty level is equal to your configuration dot difficulty level. I'll share the link for the game when I'm building. Yeah, sure. Yeah. If you haven't seen it already, by the way, I think this page is great. This is a 20 game challenge, and it's really good for new game devs because it leads you through making a bunch of different games, and it starts out with very easy games. So like Pong is a really simple game to make if you're into game dev at all. And then Flappy Bird is actually game number 2 on here, which is what you're working on. So if you wanted from this, if you're like, you know, that was a lot of fun, I'd like to do something different, maybe try the next game on this list, Breakout or Jetpack Joyride, or keep going down. I don't probably think you're going to get too much value out of doing like the bottom 10 of these games. I feel like maybe after doing 5 or 10, you're probably like, okay, I understand what I'm doing. I don't need to do the whole list, but they're there. Wait a second, is this more than 20? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Yeah, it is. Why is it called the 20 games challenge if there are more than 20 games now? Because I was going to say, I don't remember there being like Super Monkey Ball on here. Huh. Maybe it's just pick. Yeah, maybe it's just pick 20 of them. I don't know. All right, so that's the highest difficulty level, and like Bool got a medal. Is medal earned? So if you are on the highest difficulty level and you got a medal, let me say that. If you're on the highest difficulty level, yeah, so this is how this would work. It's blinking again. Did it get detached? The tape probably stopped being sticky. Hey, Brestle. Hey, Aurelio. This is a Matrix reference, Brestle? Yes, that's a new one for me. Let me write myself a note, like put better tape on my mic. Wow. Well, good one, Brestle. So complete the objective faster next time to unlock the next difficulty level. By earning a medal, you've unlocked the next difficulty level, and then you didn't play on the highest difficulty level, so you didn't unlock the next one. But also we need to know if you earned a medal for that. Maybe we just say like play on the highest difficulty level to be able to unlock a new one. Or maybe we just hide this in this case. I think we should just hide it. Just do dot hide. Yeah, I think I like that. So we'll call this something like set next difficulty label, and then just cram all this stuff into there. Void send next difficulty label. There we go. These details are pulled from, are they passed in? They're passed in. Okay, well, let's pass it in there too. And put that here. Okay, good. And then let's localize this. So what should this first message be called? I guess let's delete this stuff and put that there. Its first message is next difficulty not fast enough. And that's going to be this string. And then instead of this, we say messages dot get next difficulty. And then this one, by earning a medal, you've unlocked the next one. This is going to be next difficulty unlocked, yeah. And then we'll put that here. Anything else? No, I think it's pretty reasonable. Okay, so that should be clear. It should hopefully look good. Let's go try it. So in order for us to test this, we need to try all three cases. So case number one is that we are not on the highest difficulty level. Yeah, so we're going to start on level 0, and we're going to beat it in time, and it should show nothing. Yeah, perfect. Okay, case number 2 is you're on the highest difficulty level, and you don't beat it in time. So we're going to go to the save file and set the elapsed time to a really large number. There we go. And then load. And it's going to show, yeah, 617 hours. So now we win. It says complete the objective faster next time to unlock the next difficulty level. But if we beat it fast enough, by earning a medal, you've unlocked the next difficulty level. Okay, that should have an exclamation mark. We want to celebrate you. Exclamation marks are celebratory. So now we go to here and you can go to level 2. Yeah, nice. Hey, Break. If you could restart your teaching career from the start right now, what key chapters would you skip in your opinion? When you say teaching career, you mean with me teaching other people? I'm guessing you mean with me learning. Anyway, I'll answer this because I assume that's what you're talking about. What would I skip? So I think it's hard to figure out what hasn't benefited you. So as an example here, let's say you are working as, I don't know, an accountant or something like that, and you did a bunch of history classes. Like, are those history classes probably going to directly help you be an accountant? No, probably not. But is there some other connection you formed in your head or some other way that it helps you or made you grow as a person? Like, probably. And as a result, I think it's hard to know what you should cut out, even if it feels like you're not using that stuff. So I think maybe a more common example is a lot of people learn various parts of math and then they're like, well, why am I going to need this in my life? Or I have a calculator or something like that. Or now you have AI to help you with this stuff. And it's like, it probably made you think differently. It probably forced you to learn how to learn things that you're not interested in. So I'm not sure I would have skipped any subject. With that said, there are teachers who did a bad job teaching, and maybe I would have found different teachers for those subjects. But yeah, I think, who is it? Hey, Soli. Yeah, Scott Adams had said something like, every skill you learn doubles your chances of success. I've always really liked that quote because it's just so dramatic, right? Like, oh, you learn how to juggle, that's going to double your chance of success. And you're going to learn how to go like skateboard and it's going to double your chance of success. And it's like every piece of knowledge you gain is not a wasted piece of knowledge. Is it my YouTube or is your stream stuttering? It should be fine on my end. Hey, Kevin. Happy Monday. Yeah, so Break, I hope that kind of answers your question. I don't know if you were looking for something different out of that, but yeah, I think it was probably all valuable, even if I didn't appreciate it at the time. It's kind of comforting as someone who's tried so many things. Yeah, yeah. And really, like, the definition of intelligence is essentially like the links you form between knowledge. So things that might seem unrelated might actually be related. And if you don't have that knowledge in the first place, how would you be able to link the two things? So I can see how it would be the foundation of something bigger. All right, so I think we've coded all of this. Hang on 1 second. Huh, the fan. The fan on my mini PC is audible. I don't know why it's audible. I don't know if it's under higher load than normal. Let's take a look. Adam at mini PC. Okay, B top. What is this thing doing? CPU is at 2%. The temperatures aren't like super high or anything. Strange. I don't see anything weird here. Got a Udemy course for pixel art. I think it looks a lot better than vector art. I think they're just different styles and they have different sort of applications. But I think learning how to do any art is probably pretty good. So give examples in terms of your learning of coding languages, Adam. Like, what languages have I learned? Oops. Because I have this languages command. I don't think the languages you end up learning are probably super important. I think it's more what you do with them. Whereas with human languages, it kind of is which languages you know, right? If you don't know French, how do you talk to a French person or something like that? Or if you don't know Spanish, how are you going to make it in Spain? So those, I mean, they have very specific uses. But yeah, not so with the programming world. I think with the programming world, it's like you learn one general purpose language and never anything else and probably still have a very illustrious career and do all sorts of different kind of coding applications. You could do like web dev, game dev, tooling, all with like Java, for example, or C#. I think it'd be harder to do web dev and assembly, for example, but I guess you could. All right, so this is done. This is something I think we might want to try. Let's go test it out. Where is the plus button? It's in the new screen. The plus button's over here. I gotta find it though. Increase difficulty. And then do we have any tooltips here already? We don't. All right, well, I'll still instantiate one. Tooltip on parent. I always forget if these work while it's disabled. So now where do we find that? New challenge run screen. No tooltip stuff going on here. Oh no, we do have a tooltip. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do get node. What do I call this? Let's just call this increase difficulty tooltip. So get node control increase difficulty tooltip. Actually, this is a tooltip on parent. What am I doing? Tooltip where this content shows equals tooltip. Okay, let's try that. You think there's any benefit to following a few tutorials? I feel like just following them hasn't helped a lot. I do think there's a benefit, but I think that benefit is not universal. So if you're not seeing the benefit, then I don't think there's probably a point in continuing. But I think it's worth answering why you're not seeing a benefit. So some tutorials are just bad. Some tutorials will be bad. Some may not sort of present things in the way you're expecting, but they're not necessarily bad. And then some may be good and you're just, I don't know, tired, bored, something else. So it's hard to know if you're in this category. But if you are in this category, then it's like maybe sticking to the tutorial could help you more. But yeah, there's a lot of bad everything, I guess, on the internet, right? Bad advice, bad resources, broken links. I generally like approaching things from the point of view of either their documentation or their getting started guide for anything combined with like a very small project. So if you think about it, a project is really just a problem generator. If you're like, I want to make Frogger, you have now a problem of like, what game engine do I use, or do I make my own? How do I render the graphics, or yeah, how do I control the input? Where do I get the graphics from? Et cetera, et cetera. You're going to keep going through this, right? Each one of these things represents a problem. It's not necessarily hard problems. You might be like, well, I'm going to do it in Unity. Where do I get the graphics from? They're provided in this tutorial. How do I control the input? Unity has a bunch of input handling methods. But still, a project is a way of directing where you're going to learn. All of these could be learning topics. So a tutorial is a way typically of them saying, here's a project for you, and we're going to go through all the problems that you come up with and then solve them for you too. So it's a little bit less free in how you're approaching it. I'm glad, Bray. A big sense of just not knowing how to start my own project, even after probably 10 plus tutorials. But then I would say, don't worry so much about how you start it, and just start it. And maybe that sounds silly, but I think the important parts of picking a project are it should be very small in scope if you're still learning something. And yeah, that's about it, actually. Just make sure it's small in scope. There's a quote I like though, which is that if the problem seems too hard, then the first step isn't small enough. So if you're like, I'm gonna make World of Warcraft, first of all, I'd advise you against doing this. But if you were to do it, it wouldn't be like, okay, time to go make the entire world. It'd be like, let's tackle a very tiny chunk of it. Maybe character creation. Maybe, I don't know, the auction house or something. Like, it doesn't have to be the most important chunk. It just needs to be something you can get done, and then eventually piece these systems together. The reason this is a bad idea is because it's so large in scope that connecting those systems is going to be tough. You'll probably learn a lot between making system 1 versus making system 4. Then you'll want to remake system 1. Looking around for UE5 tutorials, and most of them are bad. They tell you just click here, do that. Doesn't explain why. Yeah. Yeah, I can't vouch for specific UE5 tutorials, but I've certainly seen it happen with tutorials in general. And that's where I think just kind of going with the documentation and learning can be good, because then you're also learning how to learn without having someone guide you. Isn't that hard in game dev when even Tetris is kind of a monster? So monster in any industry, in any realm, is always going to be based on what you already know. So if you've never, I don't know, if you've never like drawn a house in your life, it's going to seem incredibly difficult. But to any reasonable artist, they're probably going to be like, drawing a house, that's easy. It's whatever, drawing hands that's hard, or something like that. So yeah, making Tetris, if you don't know anything about game dev, is going to seem very difficult. But when you look at Tetris in terms of just mechanics and everything, it's got arrow keys, and it's got like maybe 2 buttons if you don't count pausing the game. It's like rotate left and rotate right. I guess maybe you could say like quick drop, but that wasn't in the original Tetris. So from a mechanics perspective, if I can list everything out here in basically 4 lines, it's like there aren't a lot of mechanics. And then there are only, whatever it is, 6 blocks or 7 blocks or something. And the rotations are only unique in some of the cases, like the square can't really be rotated. So yeah, just work your way up. I worked at Blizzard. Yeah, I was reading what you were saying in Windy's stream. Worked on 7 MMOs, etc. Okay, so we've got this stuff here. This is looking good. This is looking good. Set next difficulty label. Okay, cool. Yep. Wonder if I should localize any more of these strings while I'm there. Challenge mode end screen. Oh wait, I never even tested this. That's right. Just the new thing that I wanted to do here. This, yeah, nice. Okay, I like that. All right, so now instead of that text, let's change it to be something like unlock the next difficulty level by earning any medal on the highest available difficulty level. The maximum level is 20. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Cool. Yeah. Let's take a quick look. Earning any medal on the highest difficulty level. Maximum is 20. Yeah, cool. Hey, TJ. All right, let's go check that in. So clarify how to unlock the next difficulty level. There's now a tooltip on the plus button when starting a new run, and there's special text at the end of completing a run, or when completing a run. Anything else? No, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Challenge end screen. Let me take a look at this. Yeah, I'm going to leave that as is for now. All right, so that is done. That is done. And we can check that. Okay, so now we have some more meta perks I wanted to add, and then the challenge track constraints. Add more meta perks. Didn't I have one about, yeah, starting with workers? Let's go do that. So these ones were all finished. So the only thing we still have is the challenge track constraints. Come up with at least 5 to 10 levels. I did all this already, right? I think I did. Yeah, here it is. So we got to code all of these. So let's put a bookmark here and copy this over to here. Code the challenge track. So this is finished. This is finished. This is finished. Twists happened earlier. We bumped them up by a bit. This might be above. Twists get more, or even only negative. Oh, twist getting more negative is actually pretty interesting. I guess I'll write this here. All the constraints, stuff that would only normally show as twists. System hate belongs in twists. Yeah, if I haven't already written about system hate, I should do that. No, I didn't. Did I write about twists? Perks. No. I did not. I should probably write this down. Yeah. Twists are a way of adding negative effects that you need to work around. They can provide system hate, e.g. something that almost totally invalidates a system. This is because you have some choice in the matter. What is it? The difficulty track, on the other hand, should not have, yeah, system hate, because you're forced into the track if you want to progress. All right, this is this is bricklaying. This is gonna be tedious, as I mentioned. But what are you gonna do? Let's look over it one more time and just see if this is looking good. So the tutorial is gonna have a very low goal, a very high time, and start you at, I guess these things are special. Start with 4 item slots per shop. Enemy power minus 20%. So everything's going to be easier. I don't even know if we need to do the enemy power thing. Yeah, but then level 2 needs to have some change. I mean, we could just say we... No, I don't know what we do. Oh, I don't know what to do for this. Like, the problem is we have a level 0, and it's a tutorial, basically. And then how do we make level 1 more interesting? And I was thinking we could make something easier specifically for the tutorial that then we revert for level 1. Like, why don't we just have level... Well, I guess I wanted the tutorial to be shorter. There needs to be something listed here. Increase per cost. Start with only 2 item slots per shop. Less loot. Seeds cost more. Enemy power plus 50%. New customers show up less frequently. Item sales. Loot magnet less potent. Tip. Adventures regenerate. Perks cost even more. Items disappear faster. Enemy stats. Normal enemies gain ability. Okay. All this makes sense except for level 2. It's Aro. Have you ever considered that although you have incredible programming skills and communication skills, your true competitive advantage is you're so darn consistent with everything? I have not considered that. It's my one fatal flaw. I appreciate the compliments. I think really streaming for me, it's a way of exploiting my mentality to get me to be productive. Like if I were to just work in a vacuum for like 2 years, I'm publishing devlogs every once in a while or something. I think I would be less productive. I think the game would be lower quality. So for me, it happens to work. I think it's a great boon for myself. And that's what allows me to be consistent. And I guess the consistency is kind of a necessity for me to be productive too. Because yeah, a couple people in chat are going through older VODs and they're like, man, even the stuff you were doing 3 years ago is pretty consistent with what you're doing now. Or 10 years ago. It's interesting to hear that. Man, I just need to figure out this one thing. What do we do? We can't do any of that stuff. I think saying enemy power plus 20% when we lowered it to begin with is just not all that interesting, but maybe we should just start with that anyway. Yeah, fine. Let's just do it. Let's do it as coded or as written here. Okay, so where does this stuff come from? Difficulty data, all difficulty data. Here it is. So the first one, we're gonna have a 500 gold objective, a 30-minute limit, which I tested. And if you literally just leave the game running, you will probably still hit this 30 minutes and do nothing else. So this should be very simple. And then town perks are going to be a little bit cheaper. And you're going to start with more item slots per shop. And we're going to lower enemy power. I want to think of how we do this. Because I don't know if I want to give you a buff that we later take away. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. But we wouldn't have coded this stuff into here. And the way that this works is we have an array of these constraints and then we show them all stacked on top of each other. So we need some like a constraint here, like shops start with more stuff in them. But then we just don't show it. Difficulty, we don't do that. Constraints. Where do I even set this up? Challenge mode configuration? Yeah, here. All right, where does that get done? New difficulty level 0. There's got to be somewhere else that we do this, right? Oh, it's got a setter here. Yeah, it's strange. I don't know where I set that up. I wonder if no, it's definitely working. Yeah, funny though. There's a load from save data. I must set this somewhere. It's just hard to find because of how many of these things exist. All right, well, I guess we can just look through them all. Oh, here it is. Set the difficulty level, then call started run. Is this enough to get this to work? I don't know. All right, I'll just put a breakpoint here. All right, so now we need to go into my save file and unlock a higher level. Because otherwise this isn't going to work. Highest difficulty level unlocked. Let's set it to 5. And I'm going to rerun this. And we're going to start a new run. I think it'll break in immediately. Yeah. But now I'm going to go to the title screen, go to challenge mode, new game, and we click this. And now it should break in. And it doesn't. So I'm not totally sure how this could possibly work. I doubt it is. Time is 30 minutes. Yeah, I don't even think that's correct, is it? No, it's not. Yeah, this isn't working then. So we're just never calling this. That's why I couldn't find it. So at some point, rather than just setting the difficulty level, we need to set the difficulty level and then set the constraints for that difficulty level and the time information. So I could just put all of this stuff inside the setter over here. Set. Init only property constraints cannot be assigned. That shouldn't be init only then. Where is constraints? There it is. I was making a new configuration every time before this, I guess. Okay, so we go through the value that you're going to set here. I guess that means we need to store that value somewhere. Private int difficulty level. So get will return that. Set will return this thing. Target times. This is read only. Shouldn't be. Okay, that's looking better, huh? Non-nullable field target times must contain a non-null value. So nothing is going to start by setting this to, no, it will. Non-nullable constraints must contain a nullable value or non-nullable value. Okay, now I think we should be good. Did that breakpoint get deleted? There. I am so excited for the release of this thing. The release of even just challenge mode this week. Like, it's not even launch of the game. But just having challenge mode be playable, seeing runs come in, I think will be very interesting. Also, I think the reason I'm excited, I'm kind of aligning my expectations with the new challenge mode doing better than what I had. So if that's not the case, I'll probably be pretty disappointed. But the main things we changed was we added meta progression and we allowed players to ignore the timer. Both of these things are very casual decisions, and the game starts out being casual. So I think it was jarring beforehand to go from very casual to incredibly difficult, or adjustable difficulty where people could eventually lose and then feel like they don't get anything for losing. And this is definitely one of those cases of like, listen to the player base. I think sometimes a player base will ask for things that don't fit just because there's certain assumptions players make. I've talked about this before, but things like equipment in the game. I don't want equipment in Skeleseller. I don't think it makes sense. I think it's going to complicate the UI. I don't think it's going to add any decision making that's interesting. And yet I've heard a ton of people ask for it. So that's a case where I'm not listening to the player base because I feel like, and I know this sounds bad, but I would know better in that case. But in the case of, hey, challenge mode should not have a timer, it was like, yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable. And it was kind of showing in how long people were playing. It was like less likely that they continue to play. Players know what they don't like. They aren't great at providing a plausible solution. Equipment might be truly feeling a progression. Yeah, and the other thing too is I think it's common in other games with items. So it's a natural want for that without thinking of what does an equipment system do from a game design perspective. And I think equipment does several things. It's potentially cosmetic. It's usually some kind of personalization. It's usually some depth of stat manipulation. Hey, Magnetic Pine, happy 66 months. 5.5 years. Gadzooks. Happy Monday, and hope you're doing well. Okay, so now we make a new one of these things when we come over to here. I wonder if I've broken anything. So if we click new game and click over to here, items sell for less. Is that showing over here? Items sell for less. We have the right time. We presumably actually are seeing less money. Well, I'm not certain it'd be obvious here. It says 2 gold. Yeah, it must be working. And they must sell for 2 gold, right? Yeah, 2 gold. Hey, Codex. Hope you're doing well. Also, I am doing well. Some board game devs stated, listen to what your playtesters are saying, not what they're asking for. Basically means try to figure out what it is that causes them to ask for the things they ask for and address that issue instead. Yeah, and that's why I think feedback is almost useless without context. You need some context for it. And the context could be something like, let's say someone says this system is frustrating. If you then see next to their playtime that it's like 17 hours, like that on its own might already contextualize, hey, this system is frustrating, such that you might treat it differently from if you saw playtime 17 minutes. 17 minutes could mean there's a tutorial problem or something, and they're like, oh, I don't understand how this is working. 17 hours probably means they understand it and they just don't like it. And maybe they don't like it for some reason, who knows? Every once in a while, and I find this baffling, there'll be a Steam review where they've got like 4,000 hours of playtime and it's a negative review. And it's like, I don't think this should be possible. I get that you might dislike a game or they might have made some different decision, but if you played a game for 4,000 hours, you pretty much should never leave a negative review. You probably should have stopped at like 40 or 400 or 1,600 to make it to 4,000 hours though. Like, and this isn't me speaking personally. I haven't had someone play a game of mine for 4,000 hours, but if I did and then they left a negative review, I'd be like, what are you thinking? Why did you play for that long? Okay, so I think this is working now, in which case I just fixed the bug. Yeah. And I'll just check in this thing. Fix bug with challenge mode constraints. So it appears as though I was setting the difficulty level. Wait. Didn't I test this though? If nothing ever constructed this, how did we get these constraints? All difficulty data is the only place where this is pulled from. And there's a get right there. Did we do this somewhere else? This is on the new run screen. Oh. Oh, interesting. So then this... Huh, okay. I'm modifying the constraints or time limit. So I don't think things were working properly. But now they should be. Wonder if there's a way we can make this super obvious. Print out which constraints you have. Should probably do that. Test to make sure loading a save file at any particular difficulty has the same constraints applied. I should just make a debug way of printing what they are. All right, well, we're back to this. So this is the bricklaying task for today. We have 21 levels here, and we just got to get done with all of them. So yeah, let's start. All right, we've done both of these things. The problem that I ran into is how am I going to make these work? And one way we could do it is by adding in other constraints. Oh, that's why I had done this. Because at some point, we're going to take... Wait a second, will we even do this? We're going to take the constraints from here and use them somehow? Where are these used? Ah, here it is, has constraint. It's directly in the configuration. And these constraints are the ones that get added to? Yeah. Okay. So I just don't want these to show up on the new run screen. So I can add these in afterward. Or maybe there should be some concept of like a hidden constraint. I kind of like the idea of a hidden constraint. That way we don't need to say them to the user. So how does this work? More enemy damage. Yeah, we could just have a Boolean that says something like, should this show up in the description? So now I got to go find out where that shows up. There's get tooltip. That's there. If the count is 0, return none. Otherwise, return the 0th one. But there is no tooltip for the tutorial. So when I hit new game and I go over here, what does it say? It says nothing specifically. All difficulty modifiers. Yeah, the tutorial. Wow, interesting. Okay, so we could add in other constraints here. Here's what I'm thinking of doing. We do something like challenge mode dot secret buff to a bunch of stuff. And this is going to do something like minus 20% enemy power, plus 2 item slots for each building. I think like lower costs for some stuff. And then we slowly start removing those secret buffs without telling you. No, we need to change the base values if I'm going to do that. Okay, I think this answered it for me. We change base values. For the tutorial, I should just change the base values of things so that difficulty is purely subtractive. Or, like, I don't know, I kind of wrote this stupidly. As opposed to adding a secret buff in the tutorial that we then start changing. Yeah. Okay. So building cost is right here. And these costs are not based on anything and they're static. So I need to change this to be more like the town perk generator or tracker. Yeah, the cost of the next perk is based on how many perks you've bought. And here the costs are just give within bounds number of perks bought. Yeah. So the costs are going to change based on whether you're in the tutorial or not. Increase per cost 25 plus 25 into the last two, which are both 150. Yeah. So here's what I want to do. What's this constraint? This is a constraint that doesn't exist till later. So let's just do it this way. How do we do this? Yeah. And this is long cost equals this, return cost. So what I want is the base cost. What is the syntax for this? Oh, we need to write it out like Git. Yeah. So I want the base cost to be based on the difficulty level you're in. Although, hold on a second. This is going to be a constraint that modifies this. So increase town building. Okay, I see. Yeah, building base cost increase. So this is actually not how this should work. We would need to test. We need to just have this constraint get you the cost of this. So if you have the constraint, it does something. If you don't have the constraint, it does something else. I wonder if I should make a new constraint then. But we're going to end up increasing the cost of everything, right? Town, building, and adventurer. Town costs more. Buildings cost more. Adventurers cost more. Battles don't? No, they don't. Okay, not too bad. So then this needs to take in how many you've already bought. Yeah. And it's not even the increase, it's just the cost. Is this used anywhere else? No, it's literally just used here. Okay, so now let's change this. Let's change it to building cost. Yeah. Although this can't take into account any other constraints, which is going to be a problem. That's the whole reason why I think using the constraint system was probably bad. I wrote perks cost even more. We wouldn't have a way of doing this, would we? Unless this one fetches the other constraint ID you would have had too. And we know that they stack on top of each other. Yeah, I think that's okay then. All right, so building cost, we need to take in the number of perks bought. Or num buildings bought already. And if you have that constraint, we want to access it from here. Yeah, I'll store these like this. That's fine. This will be private, static, read-only, long, building costs with constraint, and building costs without constraint. Okay, not bad. So now if you have the constraint, pull them from here. So I guess let's change this to get. So we'll say long cost to use equals this. And then cost to use I get within bounds, non-building spot. Easy. Okie dokie. Now, what's the problem here? Because I have a parenthesis that you can't do things this way because it wouldn't be a property. So we just delete this. So this is more like get building cost. And that means it's got to be lower than the property in here. Fine. All right, so now we put this in here. So this is really literally just going to be this num perks bought. And then we delete everything else that we have. Return just that. To the point where I guess this can go back to looking like how it looked before. And then this goes away. And there we have it. So that's how we do the building cost. And I never added this constraint back in. So all buildings should now cost 25 gold. Let's test that out. All right, build 25. I mean, that doesn't mean anything because it was already 25. But the next one being 25 is what proved that it worked. Cool. All right, not bad. All right, so town, start at 10 and then plus 5 per perk. So this part's done. I mean, we don't really need to write check marks next to these, I guess. But we haven't done the town one yet. What's the town one shift into? Cost 5 gold more per level. What is it right now? It's 10 plus 5 per level. So it's going to be 10 plus 10 per level. So it'll cost 5 gold more for every perk that you get. And we end up running like with 30 to 50 town perks per run. So it'll cost you like 150 to 250 gold more per run for the same amount of perks. I think that's pretty reasonable. I'm not sure about the pacing, that's all. The way that this accelerates is like this. It's just going up by 5 every time. Well, I think it starts at a higher number, but... And we're going to make it go like this now. So I guess just cut off the first element and do something like that. And it costs you 5 gold more each time. I don't know. Let's just try it. Yeah, that's what I have written down. So it's going to go to plus 10 per level. So this stuff should just be in the constraint, right? Town perk cost, what is this? A generated ability. Get delta. Yeah, all right. Pretty reasonable. So I'll do the same thing I did over here with the building cost. We just had get building cost. I'll just put this into here. Public static get town perk cost. Num perks bought. All right, so we're going to copy this over to here. We're going to copy... Actually, that's it. Okay, so long base cost equals 10. That's this base cost. This is actually constant. Then the cost increase per level. Oh, we need player abilities? Sure. Do we have the town here? We don't. Abilities, component, player abilities. All right, so that'll go like that. This gets pulled in. This isn't needed. This is passed in over there. This is going to be equal to increase town building, get town perk cost of that, and the number of perk spot. Hey, Matt, how you doing? Kid home with the flu, so I picked up the rogue. That way I can totally dodge it. You know, there's only a 5% chance to dodge the flu that way. Has anyone else gotten sick in your household? Because I hope it does not spread. But I think this is something parents just sign up for, is getting sick more than they'd like to. Okay, so now what do I need to change here? This 5 needs to go up to 10. Wait, that's not right, is it? It's cost 5 gold more, so the base is what's going to change. How do you keep track of your project? Things like requirements and functionality. I try to create a doc, but it ends up being totally random. Yeah, you need some amount of organization. So some people use task tracking systems like GitHub projects or Jira. I don't know if that's capitalized or not. Some people just have a to-do list. Some people just kind of, I don't know, probably don't track anything explicitly and just kind of know what to do next. So you see me doing this on stream, right? I have a giant to-do list of stuff. And right now I'm just going to work from issue number 1 down to issue number 21 here and code all of these things. So that's how I'm tracking this in particular. Once I'm done with this, I mean, it'll remain in the design document, but then I'm finished with it. So yeah, I think the easiest thing you can probably do is just keep track of a to-do list and then, yeah, organize it when it becomes untenable. And how you organize it is going to be its own entire learning process. But if you're making something like Flappy Bird, probably your to-do list is going to be like less than 3 pages, and you'll probably eventually get done with all of it because you're making a game that's already been determined. Like Notion, a to-do list can be stored anywhere. You could make a document, you could use Notion, you could make post-it notes on your monitor if you want to. It's just a way of you keeping track of what you need to do. So whatever works for you, yeah, by all means do that. Some people store a text file in their repo if they want to. Some people, I mean, like what I do is I have a Google Doc for this stuff for the stream, but I tend to use Obsidian for my own. Note taking. So I'll have a to-do list in Obsidian at some point. This is not a to-do list. I'm just highlighting text as though it were. Both my kids got the plague from the first week of school. Yeah. Wife is feeling pretty crummy. We just got our flu shots literally last Saturday. Yeah. Man. Some of our friends are parents, and some of them get sick. It seems way more than the other parents. And it could mean anything. It could mean that their kid is exposed to more stuff, or that the parents' immune systems are bad, or I don't know. But yeah, I don't get sick very often, and it's actually been a decent amount of time. I wonder if it's going to rock me the next time it hits. We're watching Mega Man speedruns on the couch. Really enjoying the fact I'm not sick. Yeah, nice. Okay, so if you have this constraint, which this doesn't even check to see if you have the constraint. Well, now it does, I guess. And the base cost increase is going to be what? 10? I want it to be 5, I think. That's going to be here. And now it's no longer constant. That's fine. And then we delete this. This one's constant for now. Cost per level. Or cost increase per level. Cost increase per level. And then the delta there. Yeah, all right. Okay, as mentioned, this is going to be what today is a lot about, just kind of tweaking a bunch of numbers and stuff. Okay, so we have now done the town stuff, the building stuff. Now we need the adventurer stuff, and the adventurer one's going to look pretty much identical to what the building one did. So we're going to copy paste this over to adventurer tracker. And then we delete that. We put this over here. We delete extensions. We go over to this and get adventurer cost. Num adventurers hired. All right, so these are the costs for adventurers. We put these over here. And then the building costs, this is adventurer cost with constraint and adventurer cost without constraint. We'll set them all to 25. This is like baby mode. Yeah. And then just do the same thing here. These turn into adventurer costs. Cool, done. All right, so now what do we do here? We say get building cost. It should be get adventurer cost, and numperks pause the same. Cool, that's it. All right, next up, start with 4 item slots per shop. All right, this one's a little bit tedious. I got to think of how we're going to do this. So right now, when you make a shop, I guess you start with the perk. So we need to know, we can't do this via a constraint. And we're not giving you an ability, I guess. So shops just need more slots by default in challenge mode. And then we subtract them when there's a constraint. Okay. Sure. So let's go do that. So we're going to say like fewer shop slots equals 15. And take a look at this. Chance to miss out. I guess I want this to be pretty similar to this constraint. Nah, it doesn't really matter. Let's just save it. Okay, so this is fewer shop slots. And how many fewer is going to be like 2? And then we need to know, actually, I guess we should probably just return it like this. Nums starting shop slots. So if you have the constraint, it's 2, otherwise it's 4. Cannot convert into bool. Now what's the tooltip for this? Shops start with fewer item displays. Yeah, that's it. I had to make sure you can't upgrade beyond the maximum, so we're gonna have to test that out. Make sure you can't upgrade beyond 10 shop slots, even if you only get offered those perks. Ideally, I think the way we would do this is we just change the level. Like you start with this perk. I think that's smarter. Yeah, I think that's smarter. Probably just start you with the storage perks. I guess how are we going to do this then? So let's go. Where do we make the shops? Here and here and here. All right, so before this, we need to give you these perks. I want beef fajitas. I've been craving pizza. I haven't had pizza in a little while. But yeah, fajitas sound nice. I have a bunch of leftover food though. I'm trying to think for how long. Probably the next like few days. So yeah, maybe if I launch challenge mode, treat myself to a pizza party. Buy one pizza. Okay, so here's what I kind of want to do this. So let's test this out. Let's do this. Let's say potion shop displays, and we have set ability level. I can't set this to just 1 though, right? Because when you apply meta perks, how does this work? This tells you what level to grant it at? Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Unless we apply meta perks beforehand. Somehow we don't. I don't understand how this even works. I guess we just add 1 to it afterward then. Yeah, why not? So yeah, what if is there a modify level? There is, modify level. Okay, let's try that. Let's see what happens. Because if this works, then this should be very easy to do. Yeah. All right, so what are we doing? We're looking at this. This has 4. That's correct. Now we go into challenge mode, click new game. Oh, we don't have any perks. Oh, we can't get any perks. Oh, no. We need perk points. Let's set this to 10,000. And then how do I get this to work? I click start and then load and then title screen and then new and then refund. Nice. Okay. Yeah. So now I click this and now I'm going to start with 4 item displays. It'll actually start with 6, won't it? Yeah. All right. I don't know. Like technically this is working. It says level 1 out of 4 because of how I did this. Technically this is working, but it's not going to be clear to you in the game that it's working. So I don't know how we present this to the player. So the context is I want the 1, 2, 3, 4. I want the first 4 difficulty levels to start you with 4 item slots per shop. And there's a meta perk you can get that gives you +2 item slots per shop. Then later ones should only start you with 2. So problem, how do we make it clear that the first levels start you, excuse me, with a buff? I think we need to present it to you as a buff. And I don't, yeah, I don't know how else it'd be clear to you that you're already getting this benefit. Like we don't tell you anywhere. And then you start a run and you're like, why do I have, yeah, I don't, it wouldn't be clear. Okay, so then what if it didn't seem like a buff? No, but then it's not clear that you're even getting level whatever. I don't know what to do for this. Yeah, I don't know what to do for this. If we grant you the increased storage perk, the level will show 1 higher than what you expect it to be. If we don't grant it, then the perk will not reflect how many shop slots you actually have. I think we need to present it to you as a buff that you get for her being at lower levels. Oh, man. I don't like that. Might have to increase the cap to the perk when you also remove storage. Okay, wait, maybe what we could do, maybe we could indicate to you that you start with some perks and then later difficulties can remove those perks. I think we'd have to do this. Otherwise, I think it's going to be confusing. There can't be things that like mess with your perks that you're like, why is this just silently being done? I just don't know how we would show you that. Because when you are on level 0, we'd have to say something like, you are getting a benefit here. Do we have this problem anywhere else? Is it just this? I mean, I guess this enemy power thing is going to kind of be the case. Start getting town perks for buildings you don't have yet. Alternatively, we could just get rid of the meta perk. Or make it cost so much that you would have been beyond the tutorial anyway and it wouldn't be confusing. Yeah, this is a problem. If we, well, I guess I'll write some other solutions that could work for this. Just get rid of the meta perk altogether. I don't like this idea, but it would work. What else could we do? I don't know. I think the right solution is giving you buffs, but it doesn't make sense that the challenge track is starting you with buffs and then removing the buffs. I don't like that idea either. Well, okay, another solution is just start you with 2 shop slots by default. Like never. Yeah, I think this is what we're going to go with. Yeah. It's simple. It probably won't affect your tutorial run pretty much at all. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. All right, so this start with 4 item slots per shop is not going to be a thing. Which means that this also needs to change. I wonder what we do for that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, Derisabel. Also, I had a note to the perk that there's a maximum number of stalls, indicating some scenarios make full value of the perk not matter. Yeah. I still think it'd be confusing, though, to get a random buff and not know where it's coming from. Just have a UI component on the edges of the 2 extra options in level 1 and 4. Something along the lines of difficulty bonus and a colored edge. I think I'll just remove it, but then I think we need to come up with what is level 5's difficulty change going to be. And I have some other ideas. We had things like locations aren't unlocked by default, so now you would need to pay to unlock them. Alternatively, what we could do is we could just blank this out and only code 20 of the levels, not 21. And then just come up with something later. Or no, yeah, I don't have any other ideas. Yeah, I think we just delete this for now. Missing a modifier. I had one that I ended up removing. Okay, so yeah, we don't know what level 5 is going to be. All right, well, the final bit here was lower enemy power. But again, we never tell you the enemy power is lower to begin with. So it's kind of weird. We're saying like the base enemy power is actually 80%. And then when you hit level 1, it says plus 20%. So you would think, without knowing that the base power is 80%, you would think that it's now 120%, but it's not. It's 100%, which again makes me feel like this is probably not a good idea, and we should probably just come up with something different for level 1. All those levels are like sequential within one run. The way the levels work is that each level adds one like difficulty modifier, and you get all of the mods from prior levels. So if level 1 is plus X, level 2 is plus X and plus Y, and then level 3 is plus X plus Y and plus Z. And these are just different things, like items sell for less, enemies are stronger, something else. So it's like heat. It's like the Ascension system in Slay the Spire. So the heat system, if I understand correctly, is that you pick which modifiers you want. This is going to be a track that everyone follows. So your plus X is the same as my plus X. But I think in Hades, you could pick like, oh, well, enemies be faster or something. Yeah. So the problem that I have is I originally, maybe this was somewhat uncreative, but I thought the tutorial will actually lower the difficulty of the whole game. And then level 1 will add some of it back, and level 5 would add some of it back. But now I'm realizing there's another problem with that. So it's like, okay, well, let's cut out the lowering the difficulty. Well, now you can't add it back. It's now adding more difficulty, which you could do, but it's just, well, you can't with one of these at least. You can only have so many item displays before the game breaks. If you have 0, then you can't sell potions at all, and that wouldn't be fun. So yeah, I don't know what to do for this stuff, but we probably have to gut this one too, maybe. Yeah, I think it should just be the base level. So now I don't know what to do for this. I guess we could increase the power of enemies by 20% still. I think that would throw off the balance of the game. So, and unlocking locations costing money. I don't like that idea. Item less potent. Enemy stats, items disappear faster. Perks cost more. Adventures regenerate more slowly. Treasure chest costs more. The goal stops increasing after 4. Well, increasing the goal isn't really difficult, I would say. Like, we probably need there to be some modifier, because the goal is probably going to go up every single level. I just stopped writing it down. So, like, the goal at level 21 is probably going to be 10,000 golds. That means that the goal at level 10 probably needs to be, like, 7,500 gold or something. I don't know why. I'm just making up numbers, but we'd have to figure out what those should be. But yeah, we need something for this. So I'm going to delete enemy power. Say missing a modifier. What could it be? Maybe it could be twists start showing up. No, I think we need to teach you about twists immediately. Having an issue with like the code or the design? Just the game design. Like right now the problem is I need number 2 and number 5 to have something here that's fun. And I don't know what the fun thing is. So this is separate from coding for now. What's the reason for not having an internal modifier that reduces enemy power than taking it away at level 2? Let me think about this. Because I don't think I have a strong reason. I think if level 0 is minus 20% enemy power, and then level 1 is like minus 0%, so enemies do 100% damage now. I guess it could be fine. I guess we could keep that. It just feels cheap to me. I don't know. It just feels cheap. And I guess the other problem was that from a player perspective, it'll feel like they're supposed to do 120% damage, since you would never have known about the minus 20% power. What we could do is we could just make it be that the tutorial says that as a special buff. We already have special text there. I guess it could work. We could say level 0 is the tutorial. You still earn reputation, so give it a shot. Enemies have minus 20% power. And then for level 1, it just says no difficulty, I guess. Our enemies get back their plus 20% power. Alternatively, level 1 could just be the money goal increased and the time decreased. Yeah, maybe that's it. No specific modifier, just a higher gold objective and lower and less time to do it. Note this feels kind of lazy, so maybe figure out if there's a better idea via playtesting. You could add a fail time, like bronze is 30. If you take 60, you lose. I think the fail time was specifically what led us to us revamping the system. We had a fail time originally, and people were like, I do not like timers in games. And enough people said that where I think we should never have the timer cause you to lose. I think it should just cause you to not make it to the next difficulty level. And we just coded that this morning, by the way. So yeah, the time goes up. You can see right there, it says gold medal is 24 minutes, bronze medal is 30 minutes. If we were to save this and then I go and modify my save file and we change elapsed time to a very high number. I don't know if that was a high enough number actually. Yeah, nice. So now we're beyond bronze medal time. If we win, it says complete the objective faster next time to unlock the next difficulty level. But you still earn reputation. And the game doesn't boot you out. So I think that's important. Yeah, you could just not engage with it. Yeah. And you technically could not engage with it here too, I guess. But it's like we're expecting you to go up in difficulty. Also in Hades, I don't remember, but do you get stronger in between runs? I don't recall if that's the case. You ever save if those you have X minutes left dialogue show? Yeah, I did save those. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of meta progression. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because there's a lot of meta progression in here too. And this is what should eventually just allow you to beat the higher level runs pretty easily. So it's going to mostly be a challenge of like, how many of these meta perks do you need? All right, well, I like this idea well enough for now. So I guess we're pretty much done with the tutorial, right? Let me go take a look. That looks good. That looks good. The next level, well, we're not going to focus on the next level yet, I guess. That's probably fine. Fewer shop slots. So we're not doing this. Fewer shop slots can just be deleted. And that means we can delete this one too. Anything else? No, just this. Okay, so that should be it. All right, take care, Isabel. And thanks for the good luck. Yeah, I think we'll make pretty decent progress. And playtesting can always fill in the blanks that we have here for this. All right, so adventure should always cost 25 now. Yep, 25, cool, 25, yep. And same thing with buildings, I already tested that. And then town perks should go up by 10 each time, no, 5 each time. So 10, then 15, then 20. Yeah, nice. Okay. All right, so code difficulty track for tutorial. I removed the idea of giving buffs for the tutorial because it kind of messes with the player's mental model if they can't see what the buffs are. E.g., if we started each shop with 4 slots, then the meta perks level would appear to be wrong. All right, whatever. Let's check that in. All right, so next up is no specific modifier, just a higher gold objective and less time to do it. The problem with this is that we're going to change this every single level. Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know what to do. Whoops. Yeah, I don't know. I need to come up with something here. We could do something like battle perks cost more, but that's what we're going to do here with increased perk cost. Maybe we start you with 2 adventurers in the tutorial and only 1 on level 1. It's only saving you 25 gold, but I guess it is getting you off to a start a little bit faster. Have you tried any Indian dish? Oh, sorry, Rohit, I missed your message. I don't know if you're still there. But I mentioned this before, my wife is Indian, so I eat a lot of Indian food. And yeah, I like Indian cuisine. Yeah, start with 1 less adventure. I guess we could do that. I don't have any meta perks for this anyway, right? Although we might add that meta perk. What if I did say meta perk start with +1 adventure? I think that's fine. Whoops. Yeah, I think it's fine. I think we're just going to start you with 2, and that'll be how the game works. So let's go make another constraint ID. And we'll say start with fewer adventurers. Yeah. Start with fewer adventurers. All right, so public static int num starting adventurers. So if you have this constraint, then it's going to be 1, otherwise it's going to be 2. You start with fewer adventurers, cool. Now we put this in all difficulty data right there. Good. Are those numbers correct? 2,500? I don't know what the time limit should be. 2,500 time limit. Probably 30 minutes is fine. Yeah, probably fine. So now town challenge mode functions. We start you with an adventurer somewhere. Where is that? Skip tutorial, I think, does it. Hire random damage dealer, wander around town. Yeah, so we'll do this here. Sure, hire adventurers at the start of game. I mean, technically that's in skip tutorial. So this is I is less than get adventurers count. Num adventurers to add equals this minus get adventurers dot count. So there we go. And now we do hire what, random adventurer? Do we need the wander around town bit there? Do we ever call this? We do. For whatever reason, it does not say to wander around town. I don't know if that's necessary. Because it was necessary here. What if we don't do this? What state do they start in? Where is their state machine? Here it is. Start state. Oh, if we have more than 1 adventurer, set it to work or wander. Okay, yeah. Then it's already fine. All right, that should do it. Let's go try this out. Let's go to our save file. No, you know what I need? I need a cheat that's going to let me unlock every single level. I'll write that down over here. Add a cheat to unlock every difficulty level. And for now, let's just load this up and say the highest difficulty level. Oh, it's already set to 1. Well, what do you know? So if I start a run on level 0, we will have a damage dealer and 1 other random adventurer. And I don't know how the costs are going to work. Yeah, so we have 2 adventurers here. We have the mage and mushy. And now we're going to go to level 1. You start with fewer adventurers. Now we just have the mage. All right, so going back to level 0, though, how does this affect the cost? Higher. Oh, it's always going to be 25, right? It's based on what? How many you have or how many you've bought? I think it's how many you've hired. All right, well, anyway, I think this is fine. So that's working. Start with 2 adventurers. So this is going to be start with 1 adventurer. Cool. So this code's in level 1. Yeah. Code, what did I call the last? Code difficulty track for tutorial. Code difficulty level 1. All right, we're done with that. Number 3, you start getting town perks for buildings you don't have yet. Isn't this fun? I did something like this a long time ago, so ideally it's not that hard to do again. I think we need to check here. Hazmat perk conditions. We'd also check to see, do you have the building it needs? But there's a problem with the garbage slime for that, I think. I don't know how that works. All right, let's go take a look. Town perk choice generator. I think I've got something in the history of this. Town perk choice generator. All right, history. When did this file first exist? What did we do? Oh, come on. Town perk. Come on. Just load all the things. Wait, what? It's not here? Oh, you just can't search for it that way? Oh, that's too bad. There it is. All right, how did this work? It didn't check to see if you had the buildings, that's for sure. Okay, well then it must be in later on in the history. Can't be that hard to find. Because I think we only had like 10 of these. Well, it wasn't this. We're gonna find it. We are gonna find it. It's just too bad about this portion of having to find it. There it is. Yeah, so not here. All right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There. Okay, it's got to be in one of these. Or I never coded it, and I'm misremembering. There it is. It's not there. Where is it? Oh, there's search within code. Oh. Did it find it? No. I want to just go to that one file. Like, this is pretty bad, it seems. And I don't even see where the generator is. Here it is. Hazmat perk conditions. Okay, so it's possible that the ability itself would check, but I don't think it would have been. Oh man, I could have sworn I had done this at some point, but now I can't find it. Town perk choice generator. This shouldn't have anything here, right? No, the only thing I could think is that I removed it within a PR, which is probably what happened, which would be very tough to go find now. But that's okay. I don't think it should be that hard to do. I think we just need to figure out whether you have the building that's there. So hazmat conditions is this, and The ability has a required building ID, doesn't it? Where does that exist? Player ability, required building ID? I don't know where that even is. Hey, Lund, welcome in. Ah, there it is. Player ability data. Oh, well, we never fetched this. We save it in so many places. Building perk choice. Huh, interesting. Town perk. I never even saved this? I guess it's there, so I guess it doesn't matter. So we get ability dot player ability data dot required building ID. So yeah, we just never use this, do we? Let's do this. Let's delete all of these. All right, and that leaves us with, well, this stuff, I guess. Or we also delete this. And what are we left with? Town perk choice. Oh, it's right there. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, so we just wouldn't show this at all. As building, required building ID. Interesting. And does this know how to work this? Chef slime, garbage slime. There's one perk that works a little differently. Here it is. It just says chef slime. Oh, wow. This is coded correctly. Okay. How nice. Hey, Smack. All right. Well, then that's all we want to do here. So in here, I will do required building ID, has required building. So if it's none, we always return true. Yeah. And then we just put this here. Okay, this is going to drastically change the game. So let me go try this out. What's going on? I'm working on getting challenge mode playtestable. Yeah, this is going to drastically change things. I don't even know what perks we're going to be offered now. So let's try this out. We're just going to max out our gold and then click this and click this. And we're offered... should I count these? I don't even know how I should do this. I guess I just want to see like how many different things are offered. Interesting. So yeah, there are very few that are offered. We're seeing the same ones pop up over and over. All right, so now what we would do is we'd go build anything. Let's say we build the farm, and now we're going to get practically always farm perks. So there's a farm perk. There's a farm perk. Farm perk. Farm. No farm perk for once. Farm perk. Farm perk. Farm. Yeah, no farm perk. Okay, so it's like 3/4 of the time we're getting one. And that rate is probably going to drop a little bit as I unlock more of these. Because then we have fewer farm perks we can pick from because we've maxed them out. Yeah, so this makes the game probably super easy. Yeah, how easily it can be exploited? Yeah. Yeah, very, very easily. So when are we undoing this? At level 3? Honestly, we could probably make level 2 have a pretty high goal, knowing that you're only getting synergistic town perks. But yeah, okay, so let's go make a new constraint here. Constraint ID. We're going to say, what do we say, like, offer town perks for unowned buildings or something like that. Yeah. This one's just a Boolean. So what else is a Boolean here? Cannot build pond, that one. Cannot build pond constraint. All right, we'll save this. Constraint. Cool. So can be offered town perks for buildings you do not have is going to be equal to not having this constraint. You'll be offered town perks for unowned buildings. Unbuilt. I don't know how we make this clear. You'll be offered town perks for buildings even if you haven't built them yet. That's probably the clearest. And now what we need to do is we need to check this in here. So how about this? How about we do bool has required building equals true. And then if offer town perks, then we check this here. Yeah. Keep getting a song called Content playing in my head. What's in the song? Also, hi. Hey, Serpent. I'm new here, but I think your keyboard is broken from the middle. It is, yeah. I'm trying to repair it, but I need some glue. Welcome to the stream, Serpent. All right, so has required building is just going to be true. We need to make sure you've gotten it. Wait a second. No, that's not how this works. No. This should be like can show perk due to having building is going to be false by default. And we're going to set it to true. Wait, no, darn it. Let me think about this for a little bit longer. Oh, I see. I didn't know there was a song called Content. Gotcha. Okay. Or Content, I guess. Now your message makes sense to me. Joe Spark, pleasure to meet a fellow AA programmer. Who's to say this is just a AA game? Who's to say that I'm not a team of 100 people? But yeah, welcome in. All right, so how do I want to do this? There's going to be like a can show perk due to having building. Maybe like, I don't know what I want to do. So if you have this constraint, we can always show this. And I don't even want to compute this if you don't, although this is constant time. So if you have this, then we can show this no matter what. If you don't have this, then we put this here. Can show perk. And then this is just can show perk. First at 2 hours. Yeah, hey, Captain Anosa. You nabbed it from under everybody else. All difficulty data. Okay, so we put this in here. How you doing, Captain Anosa? Building. There we go. Cool names starting to look like town names in Iceland. I think they need more unusual letters for that. Lots of J's and Y's and K's. Welcome in, Monk. All right, so here's what we're going to test. When you click town perk, we should be offered only the ones for buildings you have. So this is not working already, which means I did that in reverse. How'd I mess that up? This is true, and this is only if you have the building. What? What did I mess up? All right, let's put a breakpoint here. What am I doing wrong? All right, so the ability ID here is holding items. That should always be true. Oh, it thinks we have this constraint. Why? What? What level am I on? That's not right. I can't even go to VS Code anymore for some reason. There we go. Has constraint ID. Why does it think this is true? Challenge mode configuration. difficulty data. Difficulty level is 0. Constraints are 0. Oh, it says not that you have the constraint. Oh, whoops, my bad. Okay, my bad. That's one of the simplest mistakes I could have made. Okay, now we try it. So town perk, we'll never see red text here. If we see red text, we know that we messed up. And I shouldn't have to click that many times. So yeah, I'm assuming that works. And now we go into here and, oh, we can only go to level 1. Okay, my bad. We need to be able to go to level, what, 5 or something? I'll just set this to 20. And then we'll load and go to the title screen and now go to whatever level gives us that. Where does it say that? Where is that? Ah, here it is. Level 2. You'll be offered town perks for buildings even if you haven't built them yet. Okay, so we start a new run and now we should see red text pretty much constantly. Yeah, red text, red text. So you're offered things for buildings you don't have. If I choose that, red text there. Buy another one, red text, yeah. Okay, pretty good. So should I increase this amount? 2,500 gold? You start with 1 adventurer. You don't really have any constraints. I was talking about this the other day, but we need to ease you into challenge mode, but it can't be baby mode. So if we say the monetary goal is 2,500 gold and it turns out you can get that in like 10 minutes, then that's probably gonna be pretty boring. So I probably need to assume you're gonna have like 1 meta perk at this point. So I wonder how we should balance this. Should I play and figure out what I can get to and then make it like 70% of that? Or should I don't know what I should do. One thing I could do is now we have the metrics server. So I could just tune this to be like super impossible and then figure out what percentage of people beat it. Maybe not super impossible, but maybe I try it a little bit harder than normal at first and try to get the win rate to be like 70%. Yeah, and this is a pretty drastic change. Although people might not, I don't know how much it'll matter actually. I don't know. Yeah, we'll need to play test it. So I guess we won't worry about this for right now. So this should be coded. Let's go take a look. Yep. Yeah. Although I think I want that in its own function. And yeah, that's pretty nice too. Except that I'd like to make this more succinct somehow if I can. So let's go to the town perk choice generator and let's look at just this for right now. So this is like can build due to having building or something. I guess we just make this private static bool. All right, what does this take in to be able to do this? It's a constraint and the town can be offered perk. You know what we could have done? I could have put this in the constraint. No, you know what? Let's just leave this as is for now. I don't care about this. But I do care about this. You will be offered town perks for buildings even if you haven't built them yet. How do we make this like even just 5 characters fewer than this? You will be offered town perks for buildings even if you don't have them yet. No, that them could refer to perks at that point. Regardless of whether you've built them now. I don't know. Let's just leave this too. I don't care. All right, so this is code difficulty level 2. Yeah, because this list should start at 0. Can you do that in a Google Doc? Could I have started the list at 0? What if I just type 0 here and then a space? Hi. I don't think you can. If I type 1, test, 2, yeah, that works. But if I type 0 test, no, it doesn't. Can I do that? I'll search for it really fast. Start list at 0. Select the list, click format, list options, restart numbering. And then what? enter 0. Oh, cool. Okay. Format. What am I supposed to go to? Paragraph, line, bullets, numbering. Here it is. List options, numbered list menu. Was I supposed to see restart numbering? Is that a thing? In the pop-out menu? I don't think it is a thing. No. If I click this, does it do something? No. All right, well, I don't know then. List options. Am I missing that? Oh, there it is. Restart numbering isn't a thing now. Edit prefix and suffix. Huh. Yeah. I guess you can't click this though. I wonder why not. Continue previous numbering. What if I click this? All right, I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, doesn't matter too much. Oh well. All right. So that's done. So now we're on. This is technically difficulty level 2 now. No, now we're on 3. You just add a line separate from the numbered list. What? I'm not sure I follow. I mean, I could type out like 0 dot here, but then the problem is anything I change after this, like if I type a new line here, it's never going to inject the right level number because of the 0 not being part of the list. But it's okay. I can just remember that they're all -1. So next up is increase perk cost. Okay, so this should already be done. We just need to type in town perk cost increase. Goal is going to be 5,000. Time probably, I don't know, should the time still be like 30 minutes? I don't know what they should be. Level 5 is missing a modifier. We're going to ignore that for now. Level 6 is less loot. So let's put less loot here. Then seeds cost more. That's already done too. Then enemy power plus 50%. I think we also have that one. New customer show up less frequently. We have that one too. So this is going very easily right now. Minus 20% garbage slime hunger. We have this, but we have it coded way, way too extreme. Garbage slime hunger. This is a 0.15 multiplier. This needs to be 0.8. And I think we should reframe this to say that garbage slime gets hungry some percentage slower. So this should be 1 minus multiplier slower. Yeah. And now that'll be garbage slime slow hunger. Item sales are worth less. Item sales worth less. Is that coded correctly? 80%. Items sell for some amount less. Perfect. Loot magnet is less potent. So I haven't coded this one. So let's go try out what I've done so far. Oh, did I never even check that in? Oh, man. Okay. Well, I did not check that in. Okay, so code difficulty levels 2 through... Oh, God, I don't know. I'll just say add more difficulty levels. Yeah. I made a new constraint for this, though. I don't want to do that. Yuck, whatever. So I should have every level unlocked, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so level 0 is the tutorial. Level 1, you start with fewer adventurers. You'll be offered town perks for buildings. Oh, you know how we could probably save some space? You will be offered. You just say you'll be offered. All right, town perks cost 5 gold more. Buildings cost 10 gold more. And adventurers cost 50 gold more. That's not even true. Yeah. That's not even true. What is it supposed to be? Town perks do cost some amount more per level, but buildings and adventurers cost more. Yeah, so we got to change this. Town perks, buildings, and adventurers all cost more. Yeah. And then that's it. So now we don't need this here. This base cost increase, where's that? That's fine. That's whether you have the constraint or not. That's whether you have that constraint. So then I'm not using that anymore. So I shouldn't have deleted that. No, I see. Adventure base cost increases is even being used. It is, but there's no reason to do this. Where is this being used? Nowhere now. Increase adventure costs further. Okay, so we do have a precedent. There needs to be one owning constraint for this. Okay, let's do copy path of active file. Let's go and get this on GitHub. And I want that specific line right here. And I want to put that in my notes down here. We have a precedent for a constraint owning another constraint here. Cool. Okay, so nothing needs this. And I'm not certain this needs to exist either. It's being used, but we could just put this down here. So why is this failing? Oh, I see. We need parentheses. And now this can be deleted. And now why is that there? Base cost increase, I see. Sure. Okay, let's go try that. Today's going very well so far. I just want to get this difficulty track done, and I want to get some basic playtesting in for myself, not other people just yet. Okay, so let's read this again. Level 0 is the tutorial. You start with fewer adventurers. Okay, nice. This fits on one line now. Also applies all difficulty modifiers from prior levels. This should probably be in a different color. Applies all difficulty levels. Yeah. So let's do it this way. Let's say color equals UI constants dot help color / color. Or changing the font size or something would be good. But I don't want it to stand out. Hang on one second. I don't want it to stand out as much as it is. Okay, so start with fewer adventurers. You'll be offered town perks for buildings even if you haven't built them yet. Also applies all difficulty modifiers from prior levels. Town perks, buildings, and adventurers all cost more. You get slightly less loot from battles. Seeds cost 3 gold up from 2 gold. This one's a little confusing for people, I think. Maybe we should change it to say get fewer seeds from the extractor. From the extractor. Yeah, and just not even tell you about the cost. Yeah, I think that's probably better. All right, what next? Enemies do 150% damage. Sounds good. New customers appear every 8 minutes rather than every 5 minutes. Yeah, that sounds good. 50% less seeds. Yeah, I guess we could do that. I think just saying that it's less is probably good. But yeah, I think a percentage is probably better. So yeah, I think we should do that. All right, so where do we do this? Garbage, slime, slower, hunger, here. All right, just want to see where this format is. Also, why does this look so weird? Is it because I didn't set a bold font? It probably is. Yeah, because this is getting formatted kind of strangely. Okay, so where's the seed one? Seed constraint? There it is. Okay, so get some percentage viewer. So how does this work? We need to do... Is it? Wait, first of all, let me do some math for a second here because I'm being a dummy. But if you have 30 gold, you would have gotten 15 seeds, and now you'll get 10 seeds. So it's 33% less. So we need to do cost increase divided by the total of this. Or I guess cost increase divided by cost increase plus base item value. And then delete that and convert this into a float. Okay, let's take a look at that. Yeah, the M is tiny. I think something's going wrong with the font being used, although I'm not positive about that, but we probably need to fix that. All right, so does this look good? Yeah, get 33% fewer seeds from the extractor. Enemies do 150% damage. New customers appear, blah, blah, blah. Garbage slime gets hungry 20% slower. Items sell for less. A constraint will be here, but I haven't finished making them yet. Yeah. Yeah, so this proves that we've done something wrong with the bolding because it looks good here. It doesn't look good here, nor does the italicized text look good. So we got to figure out how to fix that. Let's check this in so far. Any other things I did that are wonky here? No, I like this. Honestly, we could probably just have these like 10 levels. See if people like it. But I think we should code as many as I know about. All right, so the next thing we got to do here is this. Go into rich text label, probably change the fonts. It has a bold font set. Huh. Is it wrong? Skeleseller main bold. Huh. That's strange. Yeah, that's strange. It doesn't have an italicized font set, which I don't think we have an italicized font. Are any of these italic? Oh, they are. And then we have bold and italic. But apparently that's not good enough here. Let's take a look at why. Test. Yeah, why is that showing weird? Oh, because the font size is wrong. It actually is bold. And if we make it italic, test 2. And then if we make it just italic, test 2. Yeah, nice. Okay. Who made the UI? A combination of pretty much everyone in the credits. Did this have a period on it before? I don't remember. All right, so then we got to change the font size of everything. So 24, 24, 24, 24. And that should do it. Maybe the font was already chosen correctly before this. I don't know. But I think it's okay to have it in the theme this way. So now if we take a look, all those numbers should look correct. Yeah, nice. Nice, 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 nice. Yeah, looks good. Thanks, Lynn. Yeah. All right, so fix bold and italics. Italicize, bolded, and italicized text. We didn't have the right font sizes on the label. And maybe needed the explicit fonts to be set too. Yeah, it looks much better now for sure. Okay, so commit that. All right. So next, where do we get down to this? Loot magnet is less potent. Okay, this is maybe a bit of a problem. First of all, is there a meta perk around this? No. So loot magnet. No loot magnet potency perk constraint. This is not what I want. Where's the perk that makes it better? Item spell? There it is. So item doubling chances are 25%, 50%, 75%. I don't know how much I want to lower this by. Like maybe 20, 40, 60. So what it is right now is 25, 50, 75. 20, 40, 60. I think this is maybe good. Yeah, it's 5% per level. So a maximum of 60% means it's still going to happen the majority of the time. I wonder how much people even rely on this. I guess that's not the point, though. The point is that we slowly nerf a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, sure, this seems fine. So what was I going to do? We need to just change the numbers that even show up in the UI. That should be pretty simple. I wonder if we ever do this based on a constraint that we have. So let's do this. Copy path of file, cd into that directory, and then search for constraint. No, none of them do right now. They only are Boolean, whether you can get them or not. In fact, why is this even here? I probably need to delete the constraints we haven't used. Or we could keep them around because I guess they're already working and then use them for independent challenges. Yeah, that would probably be good. Has met per conditions changes that? All right. Yeah, so how do we do this? Say item doubling chances when constrained. I don't know, we need to manifest them somewhere. So let's change all the numbers. And then these numbers need to get used here, sort of like how we differ some things between the regular mode and challenge mode. So this, for example, so this has max level deferred to virtual property. Then we get the max level here. Get max level when meta perk can alter it. We don't need to do that. We don't even need to change this, actually. They use the same number. So we just need this to exist. Yeah, I mean, it should be pretty simple. So private static list. This is going to be item doubling or like chance list. So if it's challenge mode and if the constraint is there, yeah, something like that. And then we just need this to be the correct constraint thing. And then everywhere that we use chance list needs to modify itself. So like that, for example. That this just shouldn't exist, basically. Is it public? It is public, which means anything could have used it. Ideally, nothing was using it. All right, so this needs to change. Anything else? Is it used outside of the class? Nope. So let's set these both to private. In fact, that should always be the case. These should be private too. Yeah, any challenge mode equals like that, they should all be changed to private, and it ideally won't change anything for the worse. Let's keep doing it. Good. Yeah. What do we have now? That one's already done. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, let's try building this. It shouldn't break anything. And I can now see that it's going to want us to rearrange these, and it broke a whole bunch of stuff. So this is used higher level increased appetite. Okay, some of these actually were needed, huh? That's a shame. No definition found though. That's weird. Should at least find the definition and just say that it's not public as needed. So now that's fixed. Yeah, that's fixed. Okay, got a little overzealous. These are done. All right, now what? Does it build? It looks like there's still a problem over here somewhere, but maybe not. No, it built. All right, so it built, but we don't have a constraint representing this thing correctly. So what are we doing here? Loop magnet less potent. Loop magnet less potent. And I guess let's just store it here. So if you have this thing, I guess the numbers could come from this. I don't know where they should go. Should loop magnet be less potent? It's just, do you have the constraint? The loop magnet spell is less potent. Yeah, nice. So delete that and then go check for this thing. And we do that in here. Yeah. So that is this. Should. Chance list needs to be what, higher up? Still higher up? Wait, is that right? That doesn't seem right. A field should not follow a property. Where does it want me to put this? Down here? Yeah. No, still no. A property should not follow a method. Where do you want this to live? Public should come before private. Oh, I see. Because the other change I made. Yeah, sure. I'm probably going to regret doing that. Yeah, maybe I should just undo those changes. It was meant to be something to protect me in case I did this incorrectly somewhere else, but I think that's a bad idea. So yeah, let's just revert these things. So there's that one. Yeah, I just shouldn't have done this. Gonna cause too many annoying other problems, I think. All right, so now the number of changes should be way fewer. Yeah. So is it even worth making these private? Probably not, especially if they're just, outliers. Let's put them back to how it was. Okay, this is pretty straightforward. So now we go manifest it right here. Loop magnet potency. And then we go test it. So this is level, I don't even know what, 10 or something. And thanks to the power of cheating, we can test it pretty easily. So we first need to go to level 10. There it is. Loop magnet spell is less potent. We choose this. You make that change to proc chance? Yes, I did make it change to proc chance. But part of the reason why is because the name of the perk that affects it is called loop magnet potency. So we already used that just to refer to the chance anyway. So now we need to build the enchanter's den. Nice, we got on the first try. And now it should show us the numbers. 20% chance, nice. There's no way to see all of the levels unless we get lucky here and we're offered it. Which we'd have to get significantly lucky because there's like 50 choices. So let's keep clicking until we get it. Now we get a twist as long as it's not dud perks. There it is, loop magnet potency. Loop magnet spell increases the chance to double items from battle. Nice, 20, 40, 60. Pretty good. Pretty good. So now let's make sure that's actually being used by the enchanter. So item spell potency. And there's that chance list. Get item doubling chance. It must be. Yep. Cool. And we are looking good. So this is level 10 is now done. Yeah, nice. Code difficulty level 10. What is next? Fish have more health. Is this fun? I think this is not fun. Yeah, I don't think we should do this one. I think maybe something like fish are worth less sludge. And even then, I think it'd be like maybe 20% would probably be fine. Yeah. Because the more health thing, I don't think is a fun way of presenting this. It just makes the battles take longer. Makes it take longer for the same reward. Also, I guess when we say enemy stats plus 50%, it's going to modify fish stats, right? So yeah, I think this is a better way of doing this. Even more items disappear faster, enemy stats. How do we have 21 levels if I didn't? Oh, because I have missing modifier. Okay, so yeah, we're still only missing one level. I guess it's just going to be the final level that's missing something. Maybe we just come up with something more insidious at the higher levels. Like the difficulty ramps up super fast at the end. Enemy stats plus 50% is pretty crazy, I'd say. But then enemies gain abilities. And then we could just do another like enemy stats even higher, like another 50%. You need a party just to take out the forest. Yeah, I don't know. But actually, what time is it? 11:13. Because I at least feel the need to take a break. Where we leave off this one? Yeah. We can certainly get done with all of these today. None of them are, well, maybe this last one's a little bit crazy. But the rest of them all seem pretty doable. But yeah, I should take a break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Okay, for anyone new here, you can type join in Twitch chat, not on YouTube, unfortunately. But in Twitch chat, just type join, and then J and a number will make you jump. And you can see what's happening here. J30 is jumping to the right. J negative 45 is jumping to the left. So try it out. I'll be back in a little bit. Hello again. I got to catch the end of that. That was a pretty interesting course. You had to navigate to the left and then up. But yeah, I hope you all had fun. Close the game. I said close the game. Stupid voice commands. All right, fish are worth 20% less sludge. Let's go code that. Constraint ID. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to code maybe... Let's try to do 3 more, and then maybe I'll go get lunch. Actually, let's try to time how long they take. So let's just say starting this at now. And I want to do 3 of these. Hey, double dog. All right, so fish worth less sludge equals 18. And this is going to be pretty similar to garbage, slime, slower, hunger. Constraint. God, I cannot type that word. I really should get used to that. All right, multiplier is going to be 0.8. This is sludge multiplier. Yep. Oh, that was easy. Okay. Now we code it in difficulty data. That goes here. And then we code it into the chef slime, maybe? Does it have something for a fish? Consume fish. Here we go. Delta equals this. And then we need to multiply it. Delta equals math dot. How do I want to do this? I guess the floor. So we're going to... Do I want to round up? I want to round it. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if it's up or down. And then delta times that. Yeah. All right, the name does not exist. Yep, let's go fix that. And then cannot implicitly convert from double to an int. So this is going to truncate it anyway, right? Oh, no, rounding it would have made it an integer. Okay. Is this semi-component based design? So there's components used in some places that we have here. We actually have an entity component system set up. So there are a whole lot of different components in the game for entities typically. So all of the things that you see with component. So for example, a health component, abilities component. There's things for effects or where they are in a grid, those sorts of things. But that's not what I would say is the majority of the game. But still, when you think of like components of something, you might think of even just nodes in a scene tree, which a lot of Godot games kind of use that just by default because that's the basic setup in Godot. You can kind of look at those as components, but it all depends on what they're doing or how they're set up. All right, so how do we test this? We need to go get the fishing pond and then fish some... we'll get, what, 8 sludge, I guess? Yeah. I guess coding new constraints doesn't actually take that long. How's the keyboard holding up? Any limitations? So the LED soldering was not great. I'm not very good at it. And the LEDs on the right half of the keyboard don't work, so I just have them off by default. But like, I really like this LED effect, and I'd love for it to work on this half of the keyboard, and it doesn't. So in that sense, it didn't hold up very well, but that's my fault. And then as far as everything else, I think everything's been fine. Every once in a while, it'll double actuate a key, and that's usually due to like lint and dust and fur, whatever else. We have a cat. So I just clean it every once in a while, and it just gets fixed. But yeah, everything else has been pretty much fine. I haven't needed to do any like major fixes or changes. Also, for what it's worth, you do have to clean regular keyboards too. It's just typically they're not as open as this one. Like this is just switches on a circuit board. Well, I'm showing the case too, but if I just take this off, you can see how thin this is. And it's very easy for it to collect dust because there's nothing to it. Want to get a split with something like this? Oh, this looks really cool. I like how they did this LED in between. What is that? What is this? They not have any other pictures of this too? That's weird. They don't show the front of the keyboard. That's the receiver and battery indicator. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, how do you see the other pictures of this? Oh, I didn't think it could scroll down further than that. Okay, yeah, here we go. Where's the right half of the keyboard? I just want to see the whole thing. I see it there, but I want to see it like head on. Man, this is the weirdest advertising. Like, it looks like it's a nice keyboard. It's just very bizarre that there's no like, here's the plain photo of it from the top. That's the way I judge keyboards. Wow, strange. Huh. I'm just curious now to look at the colors. I think I like the red and the black. Yeah. I really like the rainbow keys they did on the black one. Thought about getting a Freestyle 2. Learning curve might be a while. Yeah, it probably would be. Is that a Kinesis? I don't remember. Kinesis, yeah. Yeah, so to me, a keyboard like this looks really big now. And like, I wonder how many Kinesis users use these keys, for example, or these keys. And it doesn't matter too much, except that it is space on your desk. So the more keys you have on the right side of your keyboard, the farther over your mouse is probably going to be, unless you use like a trackball in the middle or something. And yeah, same thing on the left. The further over, this pushes everything else you might have on your desk. So like, let's say you have a cup of coffee or something, or whatever else. My keyboard is a Corn keyboard. Okay, so I think this has been coded. Let's go try it out. I like that I wouldn't have to memorize so many shortcuts. Yeah, it's a trade-off. I was actually kind of thinking about this. If you think about it, you have 4 modifier keys typically, right? Control, Alt, like a GUI key or something like that, and Shift. And you could use any combination of these modifiers for a keystroke. So like Control C is copy, but you could have something like Control Alt Shift F12 to do some like take a screenshot or whatever if you want. And as a result, you could actually make a key on your keyboard be the combination of Control Alt and Shift. And some people do something like this. They make a mech key or a hyper key. I don't think that's a great idea because composability of modifiers is something that you should probably get used to, but I can see why people might want a single key for it. What about something like this? Both of these look fine. I will say this, and this is a personal opinion. I don't like the aesthetics of either one of these. This to me, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't like the aesthetics. But as far as number of keys go and everything, yeah, they look like good keyboards. And if you use trackballs, then it's probably pretty powerful. Is it C to C for USB? I mean, C to C. It's C on this side, so you can choose whatever you want on the other side. I'm currently using C to A, I believe. I actually can't tell where this is plugged in. It might be C to C. But technically, the only side that matters is this side. And then they're connected via TRRS cables. By the way, for anyone who doesn't know this, you're not supposed to disconnect the keyboard, or sorry, the cable connecting both halves while the keyboard is powered, because it's not technically safe. Something about grounding. Yeah, I still haven't tested this. This is what's probably signaling that I should take a break or something. And I do want to go get lunch pretty soon. So we need the fishing pond, and then we just need to fish up some fish. So can I cheat my adventures to be super powerful? Yes, I can. So let's do this. And our sludge is at 0. We should only get 8 per fish. Oh, this is going to take forever. What's going on here? Oh, granting them a level doesn't give them any power in this mode. Oh. Okay, they're going to catch a fish now, and it should say 8. Yeah, 8. Nice. Okay, but then the perks are still going to say the wrong numbers, right? Spicy cooking should show up somewhere. I'm never going to find it, am I? Spicy cooking. Where are you? Oh, man. Oh, wait. I think it was there. I didn't look at it, though. Oh, it only registered with me after I clicked. There it is. Okay. Yeah. It is not that one. It's called glowy fish. Do I have glowy fish? No. I need to go find glowy fish. Come on. I don't have to like recode everything to do this. Oops, that was stupid. That was really stupid. I just added 5 more perks to the pool. Just show me glowy fish. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so should I change this? It says it changes from 10 to 20. I don't think so, because I think this is one of the like age-old questions of video games, especially roguelike games, which is, was the bonus already applied to this or not? So when you say, oh, it's going to go from 10 to 20, when you see that you're only getting 8, I think you would assume, okay, it wasn't applied. And then when instead of 20, it'd be 16. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave that as is. Last link, I swear. That I won't click a YouTube link right now, but I will search the QK Duo and see if I can find a picture of it. Oh, is that the one that that's the one you had? Yeah. And it's just, oh, is this how it looks from the top? Okay, other sites have it, I guess. Man, this is so slick looking. So, I like the look of this. In my mind, the Alice keyboard layout is, it doesn't make as much sense when it's split, because I always think of it as having a split space bar. Yeah, I think this looks pretty good. And it's wireless. Yeah. I like it. I like the aesthetics. I think as far as keys go, I would probably say to try to use layers so that you don't use the border keys and everything, and even maybe try to consider using modifiers differently, but you could always do that at your leisure. Just found a Steam review on a game, 6.3 thousand hours played. Negative review. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I could see some cases where that could matter. Maybe the developers, like, instead of charging $10 for something, are charging $1,000. I would probably change my review to -2. But assuming nothing notably bad happened, then I think they might say something like, look, I played for 6,000 hours. I'm just bored of the game now. That doesn't mean it's a negative review. Why do I use a split keyboard? So the split part itself wasn't like a major decision in this, although I did want to be able to have my hands farther apart on the keyboard. So on a, this is kind of hard to show without exaggerating a bit, but on a normal keyboard, your hands are like right next to each other. Like the home row, you have hardly any space between your 2 pointer fingers. So that means that your shoulders angle inward a bit. So on a split keyboard, you can have your hands at a more relaxed position, or I could even move them like out to here if I wanted to. Well, then you wouldn't see it in the keyboard camera. So yeah, that part's nice. It's like a more comfortable resting position, I think. Okay, so this has been done. It technically took me 13 minutes just in terms of time, but not really. I just wasn't doing anything. Code difficulty level 11. Okay, so it's done. Done. Next up is adventurers and workers move slower. So where do we do adventurer speed? Workers speed. Here, and we call update workers and adventurers. And we have an ability and then speed bonuses. And what, do these get added? They get added. So we would need to then multiply your total speed by the constraint. Yeah. Can just add base value description. Usually portrays that the value isn't taking into account active modifiers. Yeah. Yeah, and I think the game is sort of clear enough right now. So I want to see what happens. Are people confused about it? Because first of all, to get to that point, they need to be at like level 10. So they've played a lot. They can probably understand that, oh, I'll just look at the chef slime and see, oh, I'm getting 8 wisdom sludge. Or look at the counter you have at the top left. Okay, so new constraint ID. This is going to be adventurers, slower adventurers, and workers. Garbage, slower, hunger. Cool. All right, multiplier is going to be at 0.8. Speed multiplier, sure. Adventurers and workers move this much slower in town. Okay. And now where do we do this? We do this here. So this is total speed bonus. We're going to multiply this whole thing. Total speed bonus multiplied by that. Use home row mods or combos on your keyboard. So I was just thinking about this the other day. In my mind, home row mods are dual function keys on the home row in the base layer. So my mods are generally on the home row, but they're not in the base layer unless I use a combo. And the reason why is I just hated typing something out and having it accidentally like capitalize a thing, or like let's say A is my command key. So it's like tap for A, hold for command. And now I'm typing the word star. Every once in a while, you might type ST and then hold the A down, in which case it doesn't type anything, and then accidentally send Command R after that. So like this is what would get seen by the operating system. And it just bothered me so much. Like it happened enough that then I would have to like slow down and be like, okay, I'm going to type ST and then like make sure I'm just tapping the A and then type R after. And it's like, I don't want to slow down my typing speed. So I basically put my mods into a layer, and I also made them one-shot mods. So now I could like press a modifier like shift, and now my hand's not on my keyboard. And now when I press A, it's going to be capitalized. And now the next A will not be capitalized. So that's kind of nice too. So if I'm ever like, I want to type command and then something, okay, I want to type A, yeah. And then it selects everything. Just another kind of quirk you get used to. Okay, so now this one we go put into here. What is this? Slower adventures? Yeah. Will we notice this? Can you notice a 20% difference? I guess let's just take a look right now. How fast are they moving? They look like they're moving pretty fast. Is it because I got a perk? I must have. I got a bunch of perks. Customer speed. Where's Swift Shoes? There. Yeah. Yeah, they're moving 40% faster than normal. So let's just start a new run. And now they're going to move at normal speed. So this is about how long they take. So let's maybe just time this really fast. 1, 2, 3. Actually, we could just look at the elapsed time. Yeah, they hit this at the 5.5 or 6 second mark. Okay, so now we quit and we go start that again. Is it free for commercial usage? Yeah. Should be at least. Okay, so now we go into the higher level of this. Adventurers move slower, and we start this. And now that the skeleton shouldn't get here until like the 7 second mark. That didn't seem to happen. Something is strange here. Let's put a breakpoint there. Let's start this again. Oh, am I on the wrong level? Is that what happened? In which case, none of this would have actually modified anything. I don't actually know. Let's make sure we're on the right level. Are they moving slower now? They might not be. No, it looks like they're the same speed. I guess this just doesn't remember what level I was on. All right, we'll put a breakpoint there. So that should be 0.8. What art thou? Yeah, it's 0.8. So total speed bonus is what? 0? Oh, it's a bonus. Oh. Whoops. So I guess we need to subtract 20% from this. So we just do minus equal 1 minus this. And now it'll be correct. I guess we don't even need that, huh? Yeah, I might want to change that. It shouldn't be called speed multiplier anymore. I don't even know if these can go negative, actually. Is it going to break something? So we need to go to level 12. Okay, now they look like they're moving slower. So now it's going to cross this threshold at like 7 seconds, 6, 7. Yep, perfect. And their animation looks fine. Yeah, I would say that's a win. So we just need to rename this from speed multiplier to like speed detriment or something. And this is going to be called bonus. And we're going to say negative 20%. And say workers and adventurers move. And then do math.absolute value. Let's get math. Math.abs speed detriment slower in town. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and then over here, rather than subtract the bonus, we now add the speed detriment. There. Okay. Not bad. I wonder if I broke anything else though, because this already said 0, and that definitely shouldn't have been the case if I had this working the other way. So we probably need to go look through the other constraints that I have. Anything that had a multiplier, which is not that, I guess. Where's a multiplier? No customer, never coded this. Loot magnet, less potency, that shouldn't matter. More enemy damage, 1. Okay, that's fine. Less loot, chance to miss out. That's fine. Item sales worth less. Yep, that's fine. Increase town stuff, that should be okay. That should be okay. That should be fine. That's okay. Worth less, that's fine. And that's it. Nice. Okay. Yeah, let's go try it. So I'm going to start this again. It's not going to have the detriment, so it should take like 5.5 seconds to get to the stone thing. Just look at the elapsed time up here, and it should be at the 5.5 second mark. Yeah, 6. It's close enough. And then I click this, and now, oop, that's broken. That is broken. Slower adventurers. Format speed detriment. What happened here? Oh, this should say bonus. Whoops. Yeah. Adventurers and workers move 20% slower and down, yeah. All right, now we watch this, and at roughly the 7 second mark, they should pass. Sure, perfect. Cool. Now you should be able to speed these up further. It is not multiplicative. So if we were to get a town perk, which we're not going to ever see it probably because I am very unlucky. But if we see the one for Swift Shoes, it's not going to show up. Well, anyway, if we did see it, it would make their speed the normal speed. Yeah, and we're not going to find it. Well, that's nice. I'll try 3 more times. 1, 2, nope, there it is. Okay, so I click this, but before I click it, let's watch one of the characters. In fact, let's add in 1,000,000 different workers. Okay, so now watch them as I click this. Yeah, they got a little bit faster. And this should say, yep, nice. It's perfect. It is all working great. Cool, so code difficulty level, I think 12. Yeah, 12. Okay, so this one is done in 10 minutes. Yeah, so if they all take another 10 minutes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it'd be another, like, let's say 1.5 hours. I'm going slowly because I'm bored out of my mind. But we have to do this. It's just so boring. Okay, so what do we say here? Treasure chests cost more. Okay, so how should they cost more? Right now, I think they're 25 gold, then 28, then 31, and so on and so forth. Treasure chest. Where's the cost? It's not here. Treasure display. No. Treasure room. There it is. Buy cost and cost increase. All right, so it's 25 gold base plus 3 gold per chest purchased already. So we could increase the base. We could increase the rate at which it goes up. Or we could do both. Or we could maybe make keys more expensive. Maybe the buying of the treasure chest shouldn't be the problem. Increasing the rate might be too much hate. Well, remember too that by the time you get to this level, presumably you'd be getting even more money. And I don't want them to be too cheap. I think I kind of want to go this route. Make keys more expensive. How much do keys cost by default? Key, where is it? I don't know what I call the variable. It's gonna be in the treasure thing somewhere. I guess let's just go search for treasure room, copy path, cd into that, search for cost. Cost. Oh, you know what we could do? We could look at the weapon grinder. What am I thinking? Yeah, there it is. Key cost, 25. So we'd increase that. So you could still get treasure chests, and they'd still open, and it'd still cost the same amount. But the keys would be more expensive. No, let's just go with the treasure chest cost. Yeah, let's just do that. Treasure chest cost more. All right. So yeah, we just need to figure out how we're increasing this now. So if it were 25 gold plus 4 gold per chest. Actually, I guess that's not really all that impactful, right? How many chests do you buy per run? I think the base cost 40 gold. So it's 15 more per chest. So normally it'd be 25, 28, 31. This would be 25 plus 28 plus 31. This would be 84 gold for 3 chests. If we start you at 40, it'd be 40, 43, 46. It's 129 gold for 3 chests. No, I think this should increase too. Should probably go by 5 each time or something. Was there a meta perk that gives it? There's a twist that gives them. So that twist would probably be even better. Yeah, I think I'm going to increase both. Yeah. So how do we compute this right now? Buy cost and cost increase. So if it's in challenge mode, we would look at the... We just look at the constraint for this. Seems pretty reasonable. How do we do that? I want to find a constraint that already... I don't care. Whatever. I'll just code it again. There we go. Okay, so all this stuff is going to get moved over to here, I suppose. So this is the base buy cost. And then, or maybe like original base cost increase per chest. And then the constrained version of this. Constrained by cost, cost increases 5. And then here we're not going to be specific. I'm just going to say treasure chest cost more. And then we need a function that's going to do what the treasure room was already doing. So these things will go away. Buy cost in challenge mode. So if we're in challenge mode, then we're going to pull it from the treasure chest cost more dot get buy cost. And we're going to pass in the number of chests purchased. num chest purchased. Looks good. Let's go code this function. There we go. Public static return that. And then we need to, I guess, get rid of this thing. We need to change this based on whether or not you have the constraint. So return, how do we even check if you have the constraint? Main.challenge mode, yeah, nice. There is no thing there? What, because it's in configuration? Oh, I should change that. Okay. Constrained by cost plus that, or base plus that, yeah. Okay, now let's go test this out. All difficulty data. There's going to be treasure, chest cost more. This is level 13. And then we don't have very many more of these left to do. Is this going to be frozen forever? Probably will be. Using directives unnecessary. Yeah, I've seen this happen before. Let's try to just reload. No, let's try quitting altogether. Is it going to build this time? Yep. Nice. All right, so we do not have the constraint. So if I build the treasure room, which we're not even going to be offered, it will eventually show up. It has to. There it is. All right, so it should cost 25. Yep. And then 28. Yep. And now we go to a higher level, which we don't have somehow. Did I accidentally save on top of this? Highest difficulty level unlocked 20. Yeah, just reload that. Okay, so now we go to level, whatever I said, 13. Treasure chest cost more. Start new run. Now we give ourselves a bunch of money. Build a building. Build another building. Build another building. We're going to eventually get it. There it is. So it should be 40. And then 45. Yeah, perfect. Okay. Code difficulty level 13. And I expect this looks pretty good. Yep. Okay, so I started this at 11:18. It took 32 minutes, but I think a lot of that was coming from me just kind of dragging my feet for the fish one. So yeah, I think we can estimate on the low end maybe 15 minutes per difficulty modifier, which means this is where we left off. Which means you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, maybe another hour and a half. So the goal for today is going to be code all of these and then maybe test a little bit. We don't need to code any of these if I'm going to be testing just the low levels anyway. Get started? No. It's lunchtime. Yeah, it's almost noon. We have a union mandated lunch break now. But I think we will get done with this stuff by the end of today. Oh, you know what we can do really fast? Let's take a look at this. Yeah, let's see how this is. GHPR, check out this. But I was chilling. I mean, I'm not ending for the day. I just got to go get lunch, and I'll come back afterward. All right, so I'm excited to see this. Quickie Joe modified the battle cards somewhere. I'm not actually sure where. So let's see what they look like. Oh, that's on the other branch. Oh, and we have the old challenge mode stuff here. Because I haven't merged my branch. Oh man, that's crazy. Wow. Look at how cool these look. They're so much better. Oh, that's where the life bar is supposed to show? Okay. I see. Because right now this is covering this a little bit. So that's rather unfortunate. So we could probably do something about that. They look so good. Yeah. I think I think they look fantastic. Wow. So cool. And wait, what happens when you hover over these? Wait, something. Oh, I see. Is there transparency there? What is okay? Hang on, I'm a little confused. This element in the back, when these are already in battle and you hover over them, they change color, but it's only that thing that changes color. I wonder what's doing that. But yeah, these look really, really good. I wonder how they'd look if you got battle perks for this stuff. Oh man, yeah. So cool. Also, I really like the golem one. I mean, look at how imposing this looks. Rockman. Yeah, very neat. Well, she's just over there dancing. Spirit caller's like, I'm gonna take your soul. He'll go Dev. These are nice. What are they? They're the new. Well, I probably won't include them yet, but they're the new background things for the adventurers. So let me take a picture of a couple of these things so I can save them because I'm not going to probably merge this yet. That was my picture of Windy from earlier. I should delete that. And then one of these, I want to take a picture of a couple of different battle parties like that. So who do we have here? Let's just click that. That'll make it easier to see. All right, now click these and click this. Okay, then I want them all to finish their fight and not enter the fight again. Okay, so now let's switch back to my branch, get checkout. You have changes. Not anymore. And then we probably need to reload the whole thing like that. Yeah, they look really good. Just need to change this bit a little bit, which I think I should be able to do. You just don't show a life bar there. Yeah. Anyway, here's what they look like without that. So I'm going to launch the game. And they just use their battle graphics, which Quickie Joe made. These are more boring than the new ones by far. So as a comparison, this versus this. And yeah, there's a clear winner. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so let's take this picture and put this onto GitHub. I just want to make a quick comment here. These look amazing. Notes to self. Need to remove the brown part at the top of this graphic, or this view, I guess. And then need to fix the highlight that happens in the background. I want to just take a picture of this. Oh, I'm not on the thing anymore. I can't take a picture of it. All right, well, whatever. I'll get a screenshot of this. The repro is send adventurers into battle. When auto repeat is about to kick in, hover over the battler card, and just a portion of it will change color on hover. I should be able to fix these things. Yeah. Yeah, the artwork is great. Great, great, great. Now we can have up to 5 adventurers in a battle. Oh, I got to write a note about that too. Also, see what happens when we have 5 adventurers in a battle when the window has been made smaller. They should all fit. Okay, so we're gonna have to merge this at some point. I'm gonna just write this down. Fix up this and merge it. But not today. The rest of today is going to be to code the 6 more of these. Yeah. Code the remaining 6 challenge mode difficulty tracks. And then do some testing. Once these tracks are in, well, and we need one more. I've only got 20 instead of 21. But once we've got all of them in, we probably have enough to play test. I think we probably should add some more content and we should do some balancing. So maybe by the end of Wednesday, we could get the playtest version out. But I'm very much hoping that by Friday we can. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to make Friday. All right, anyway, it is noon. I'm going to go get lunch. I'll be gone for about probably an hour. And when I'm back, I'll stream for at least 2 hours. Yeah, maybe 3. So it's not the end of the day for me, but I recognize that some people can only really watch now. So I'll leave you with the usual links. There is Discord. There's a link to the game itself if you want to try the demo. And if you want to join the playtest, that is how you do it there. And I will be back in a bit. Thank you all for watching. I will see you later.